Oh, hey, everybody. I'm live. How's it going? It's my birthday. I hope people join on and hang out with me because I don't like sitting here talking to myself. Oh, yeah, someone's joining. Device is not connected. All right, well, maybe they're not joining. I don't know. Here we go. I'm going to have a little tequila toast for my birthday. Because why not, right? Happy August 31st, guys. How's everybody doing? How's Monday treating you? Oh my gosh. What are the odds? I have 4 other friends whose B-Day is also August 31st. Lots of tequila shots happening today. I hope so. I hope so. That would be nice. I'm going to keep posting the link in the live chat if anyone wants to join on and hang out. Otherwise, I'm just hanging out here. Anyone have any questions? Ask me anything. You got my attention. I'm reading the comment section until people join. Lots of birthday wishes. Happy birthday from Germany. All the best. Happy birthday, Joy Joy. Thanks, guys. I missed my chance at being a Leo. I don't think being born on the 10th would have changed my name to Leo. Oh, here's a good question. What's your dream Squire reissue of an old Fender Squire model? Oh, man. It'd be a lot of fun if Fender took a stab, or Squire took a stab at reissuing the original bullets. Those very, very early bullets with the funky body shape and the bridge that's like integrated into a metal pick guard. I'd love to see them take that shape and modernize it. And, I'd hope that they would copy the neck profile really closely because those necks were really something special. So I'd like to see that. How old? Free Money asks. I am 39 years old now. So next year will be my official midlife crisis year. And I'll have to start buying PRSs or something. I don't know. Oh, man. Hi, Ryan. Have you ever stolen anything? What? I was actually thinking about this the other day. When I was pretty young, I mean, a teenager trying to get my first job, I had an interview at a local restaurant, and I rode my bike over there, and I realized, oh crap, I forgot to shave before this interview. And when you're a teenager, every little thing is a major issue. And so I'm like, oh man, I've got to go buy a razor and shave in a bathroom or something before I go on this interview, or they're going to think I'm going to slob and I won't get the job. I didn't get the job no matter what. But I went to Target and I'm looking through all the razors and I realize I've got maybe like $2 to my name in my wallet, and all the razors are super expensive. And so I ended up like opening up like the plastic corner of like one of the bulk bags of like of like pink plastic razors for women's legs, and I just snuck one out and I went in the Target bathroom and basically dry shaved. I mean, not dry, I used water, but I didn't have any you know shaving cream or anything like that. Let's see if I missed any other good questions. Other than that, I think I stole a lollipop when I was a kid because I didn't understand how money worked. I was like, I want this, and I stuck it in my pocket, and my mom found it later, and I got in trouble. Hey man, happy birthday from Holland. What's your favorite guitar that you own right now? Ooh man, that's tough. The Jaguar behind me there is probably my main squeeze right now as far as guitars that I have affection for. But I've honestly been having a ton of fun with the new Cyclone. This has been the guitar I've been playing like every chance I get around the house right now. it's just a bunch of fun. The trim is dialed in the way I like. I like the sound of the pickups. It's not overly bright. Someone was saying in the video comments that they think it sounds muddy. I think it's the right amount of mud to balance out what would normally be a really bright, hyper twingy guitar. It's just, I think it's really well balanced. Kind of makes me wish my surf band was more active right now so I could play it live. All right. Here's an interesting question. What is a good beginner's method of progressing lesson books on YouTube? I don't know. When I learned, there was like almost no resources online. There was really shoddy tabs that you could download or find various places, but you had to buy actual physical books to get anything real. And there's so many options now. I've been using Guitar Tricks I think I have an affiliate in my usual link dump that I don't have in this video yet. But I've been using guitartricks.com as like a site to brush up on my skills or like learning like a new riff if I want to and stuff like that. And it can be very helpful. But yeah, I think learning to watch other people play and figure out what they're playing is a super useful skill. So really just, there's so much out there now. Go watch videos of the songs that you like of people playing them, whether it be the original artist or someone covering it, and work on it. Just work on watching other people play and trying to figure out what they're doing. And it's a long path to go, and it's a lot of work, but you learn a lot of valuable lessons that way. So I don't know. Someone says I'm still a Leo. I don't know. I don't care about the stars. I never look up in the sky. Oh man, Joseph, happy birthday, man. 52nd birthday. I feel like I'm a long way off from that, but I'll be there eventually. It's not that long, right? 13 years? Lucky 13? Here, I'll do a little half toast to you, Joseph. Joseph McGinnis. Happy birthday to everyone that's having a birthday, right? Scrolling down through these comments. If you have to design a guitar model, what would it be? Well, I think if I was going to design a guitar, it would start over and be like some completely like unique thing. I really need to sit down with Photoshop someday and come together with like a dream fantasy guitar of mine or something like that and make a video about it. It's going to have single coils. It's going to have a wiggle stick on there. You know me. Oh man, I don't know the answer to this, but happy B-Day, my dude. Question, I'm starting a new Civilization 6 game. What civilization should I pick? I've never played that game. I'm assuming there's like warring civilizations and there's more peaceful civilizations. I'd go straight down the middle. Go something very neutral and then, go either way on your on your virtual journey. All right, what else do we have here? Scrolling through. Oh, it jumped on me real quick. Now I lost my place. Oh, well. I'll just go straight to the bottom. Boxers or briefs or none at all. I wear those. They're like a hybrid. It's like a boxer length. It's a short, but it's a tighter fabric, like a brief. And that seems to do it for me. My wife and kids are at the zoo right now, and my wife just texted me that my son startled a bamboo. a baboon, not a bamboo. Oh man, I don't understand this question. Happy birthday, Ryan! But more importantly, what pedal chain do you think was used at 7:17 p.m. in San Dimas? I think this was asked of us somewhere else. I don't know what you mean. Is this leading to a joke? I'm assuming a Bill and Ted joke, but I don't know. So maybe we'll get an answer from Joan of Heart at some point here. Or we'll get the punchline. I don't know. Happy birthday from Ireland. Thank you. Okay, here's a fun one. Ryan, do you have a highly recommended, relatively smallish amp for under $300? I'm always gonna immediately go to the Katana 50. The Boss Katana 50, I think, is a fantastic amp. At just about $200, I think they might be like 220 now. It is solid state. It does have some digital effects built into it. But it's fantastic. It's super affordable. I like to leave it on the clean channel and then turn the gain up pretty high on the clean, and it gets nice and creamy, a little bit of edge of breakup sort of feel. If you are for sure looking for a tube amp, like you just have to have a tube amp, actually still really like the Ibanez TSA 15H, though that's just going to be the head for under $300. I don't know what the combos go for. I don't know what to recommend as far as a full tube amp for under $300. That starts to get a little scarce, you know. Oh, Robert's here. Hey, Robert.
Hey, bud, how you doing? I'm not going to be out here too long because I'm doing work in the middle of everything, but I did want to jump on. Wish you a happy birthday since I'm in the local area. I mean,
Sure.
How can you go wrong?
Yeah, thanks, man. Look at you with your wall back there.
Yeah, thanks to you and your swing, string swing idea. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I've got enough of them. Can't play them all, but I got enough of them.
Well, most people can only play one at a time anyway, so.
That's it. That's exactly. Play one every night, or at least I try to learn and take a few lessons here online. And I enjoy it. It's just the way it goes.
That's what it's supposed to be for, man. It's, there's all these people who make comments towards me on anyways online, like, oh, you're not very good, or you don't deserve this or that. It's like, this is the hobby side of this, man. I'm not a professional.
People are just gonna want to be haters sometimes.
This content isn't for professionals. Professionals aren't sitting around like, oh, let's see if I can glean some knowledge from this guy. It's for, it's supposed to be like a social thing where, we experience guitar together. That's my thoughts on.
That's all it's about.
Nonsense, anyways. The
joy of making music.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to be good at anything to have opinions on it.
We're all there. All right, that's what about. I'm going to get out of here. I've got work to still do, so until a little bit later on. You take care of yourself, okay?
Thanks, Robert.
All right.
I had a comment from Big Ear Pedals. I'll click that on. There's that one kid that plays Nintendo songs on 2 Ibanez guitars on stands. Yeah, you can play 2 guitars that way. Nice compliment here from Matt Mitchell. Happy birthday. Your podcast makes the start of my week awesome. You guys are rays of sunshine amongst chaos. I kind of wish we were the chaos. That's how I like to think of myself, or the show in general, is bringing chaos into the world. But I'm happy that people enjoy what we do. Okay, here's a big question about tube amps. Peter off dead. Better off dead. I thought that said Peter. The tequila is working already. Ryan, hundreds of different tube amps out there besides Marshall, Vox, and Fender. What actually unique sounding amps should I check out? Seems everything sounds like one of those 3. Well, I had a friend asking me and Steve one time at a party, like, oh, I kind of understand, what Fender amps are like, but what are Marshall amps like? And we were like, well, Marshall amps are just kind of really like hot rodded Fender bassmen. And they're like, well, what about these amps? I'm like, well, those are kind of just like these Fender amps, but changed a little bit. And most stuff, the lineage goes back to a few amp designs, generally speaking, like loosely speaking. I know there's a lot of differences, and there's a lot of differences in tubes and transformers and various components and stuff like that. But really, I mean, if you're looking for something off the beaten path in the tube amp world, it's going to be a little tricky because all that ground's been covered really hard. I mean, I would, if you're shopping for amps, I'd, instead of thinking like, oh, what's something obscure that I don't know about, I'd ask yourself first, what do you need? Do you need a clean amp, or do you need like a mid crunch kind of edge of breakup amp, or do you need a high gain amp? And then those 3 paths are going to greatly determine kind of which way you go with your amp selection. I like a clean amp. like an almost fully clean with maybe an option to go a little bit of edge of breakup. And I let my, my effects do the talking. All right. Richie Allen guitar. Happy birthday, you rock. Thanks. All kinds of emojis there. Orange. Yeah, orange is a good option to go slightly off the beaten path. They have kind of a unique voice to them too. Yeah, a couple suggestions for orange amps. Orange and custom. Custom's different. Aren't a lot of customs solid states? All those custom like couch wrapped amps, those big stacks. I think those were mostly all solid state. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. Tom Morello does not use a gain pedal. His Marshall does all the drive. I'm not surprised. Good for him. I mean, he seems to like to lean into effects that are super wacky. I have trouble imagining him spending a lot of time messing around with distortion pedals when he wants to just mess around with a whammy. Yeah, all the customs I've seen are solid state, says Jason Welch. That's been my impression too. I don't know if there's any tube customs out there. Do I game at all? That's a good question. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft with my son because he's watched just countless YouTube videos on Minecraft, and our Xbox 360 is still hanging in there by its fingernails. So yeah, we've been playing that game. I bought an old copy of it, and it still updates on the 360. It still updates to the current version. Other than that, I don't have a lot of time to do any gaming myself. I will play Roller Coaster Tycoon on my editing computer when I'm waiting for things to render and stuff when I'm editing. But yeah, I kind of miss the old days before I had kids, where I had time to dive into the new Call of Duty or Halo or whatever and just kind of zone out and blow up aliens and stuff. I've never been big into heady games. I just want to like build a roller coaster, or I want to shoot things and just kind of disappear mentally for a while. I got a super chat. You know what that means? I'm gonna do a shot. Happy birthday, dude. Get that alcoholic glow on and have a blast. Play even worse in your demos because it's what we deserve. If you can't handle me at my safety riffs, you can't handle me at my good playing either. So there you go. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan and Grayson. Stumbling over my words already. I don't know how deep I can get into the tequila. It's only 2:00 in the afternoon here, but my kids are gone at the zoo. I'm just hanging out. I finished what I wanted to do for the day, except for this, because I wanted to do this. What else do we have here? Dr. Z amps for some money. Yeah, those are expensive. What do these even sound like? I don't have any connection to what a Dr. Z sounds like. I always assumed there's just like another boutique Fender take. Or maybe they're like a boutique Vox take. It seems like there's boutique Fender takes, there's boutique Vox takes, and those are really common these days. Like a boutique AC30 version or something like that. And every now and then you see like boutique kind of like Marshall-y stuff. And there's a couple boutique orange amp companies out there. I'm trying to think of what is different. What is, what's out there that people aren't really talking about? Oh my gosh, my wife is watching from the zoo. Hi, honey. I'm doing tequila shots and celebrating my birthday with internet friends. I was going to say internet strangers, but a lot of you are not internet strangers. A lot of you are regulars around here. Scroll through. All right. You might like the game Parkitect if you're into Roller Coaster Tycoon. Same concept, same twee aesthetic, real fun. I'll try to remember that to look it up. One of the reasons I go to Roller Coaster Tycoon is because it takes up so little memory on my computer, so little operating cost for my processors. So I can sit there and let my computer chew on a 4K video or something like that. That's a good question. Who gets boutiqued the most? Oh man, who is a constant boutique defender? My gut is that AC30s get boutiqued a lot in the amp world. Oh my gosh. Oh, we got a $10 super chat. Happy birthday. What vocal mics do you use for your demos? Well, right now you can see I'm using the Lewitt 440 condenser up here. But when I'm shooting my demos, I have overhead, kind of like boom mic style, I have this thing. This is just a Shure SM57, one of the most affordable, rugged, classic microphones you can get. It just happens to have this $30 piece of foam on it. And I watched a video from some other guy who had a SM7, which is like the $300 mic from Shure. And he put this foam on the SM57 and he compared them. And he's like, with these foam, I think they sound really damn close. And I agreed. I was like, that's a really close sound. I had been shopping for SM7s, and that video made me realize I don't really need to spend that kind of money to get the sounds that I want, especially in the conditions that I'm in and the amount of skill I have as, a person that records. Ryan, which pedal or effect do you associate yourself with? Well, obviously, drippy reverb. The Surfy Bear has become my go-to for that. I've been using the compact on my pedal board around here a lot. But other than that, the DoD 250, that's my drive of choice. Every time I take it off my board, some version of a 250, after probably a couple days, I start to regret it. I always go back to that 250. It's just, there's something, people talk a lot like, oh, you need to practice. Stop messing around with all these pedals. If you spent more time practicing than messing around with pedals, then you'd be better. I say you need to practice at using your pedals. And when you spend a lot of time with a very specific pedal, you get it wired. You get it figured out. You get it figured out what's going to happen when you dig in hard on low sounds. What happens if you start, bending high strings and stuff like that? You know exactly what's going to happen with the drive pedal or any pedal that you have practiced with. You have practiced learning that pedal. And I think that is a huge thing that a lot of people are missing. And I think it is a negative thing that happens a lot, that we get in this cycle where we're just trying another thing, moving on, trying to find something that might be trying to fix an issue that we're having, but because we're not landing on something and spending a lot of time with it and practicing it, we're not really getting the full extent of what we can get out of these individual drive pedals or whatever pedal it happens to be. Like if with drippy reverb, if I just kept jumping to drippy reverb, I wouldn't learn how it reacts to my playing dynamics and stuff like that. So I think practicing at pedals is the point of my rant. Oh man. What's your favorite cake flavor? Asked Poo Ninja. Oh man, cake. Being diabetic is tough, guys. I have a little bit of treat every now and then. My sister makes an incredible chocolate cake, just amazing. She like spent all this time reverse engineering chocolate cake recipes and experimenting and stuff, and she came up with this chocolate cake recipe that she makes completely from scratch, that is just the most like delicate, moist without being like wet sort of chocolate cake experience. Is fantastic. But if I make a cake at home, I go for that yellow cake batter with the butter in it, the butter recipe, box cake. I like that with just some cheap chocolate frosting on it. That's a good time in my opinion. Cookie cake? No. If you're gonna have a cookie, have a cookie. Don't have a cookie cake. Did I miss anything good before that? I don't know. It's hard to backtrack. That wet cake. The wet ass cake. My sister makes a really good tres leches, which is a wet cake. That is a wet cake, if you think about it. A tres leches. It's dripping with milk. DQ ice cream cake for the win. Man, I could go for some Dairy Queen. Damien is taking his $10 back. Oh man, Rob Cook wants to know, hi from the UK. Will you ever do videos on acoustic guitars? There's a lot of stuff that could be fun. Here's my thing about acoustic guitars. I joke often that they're boring. And in a way they are. But acoustic guitars can be a lot of fun. I have had a lot of fun with acoustic guitars in the past. I just don't feel like there's a lot of room for me as someone who's not an exceptional guitarist starting out to give proper coverage of an acoustic guitar, especially when so much of my content is based around pedals and amps and everything that has to do with plugging a guitar through things. So electric guitars just fit what I do so much better. Every now and then I'll do ukulele videos. I like ukuleles. And it's a lot easier to collect those than a bunch of acoustic guitars because they take up so much space. Acoustics just take up a ton of space. I would like to have a decent classical guitar at some point, though. Not like exceptional, but decent. Not like $1,000, but also not like $200. I want like a $600 classical guitar someday to have around the house to be, my playing acoustic. Where did it go? Pig Ear Pedals asks, how old are you? 39. Yep, I'm 39. I was 38. Now I'm 39, unless I've done the math wrong. I was born in 81, so that's 39, right? Next year I'll be 40. Then I'll be legit a man. I will be a real life man at 40 years old. It's been a mystery up till now. Flan is not a cake. Flan is a custard or a pudding. That's not a cake. How does the devil's dessert affect your diabetes? I'm assuming you're asking about edibles. I don't know yet. From what I've read, cannabis is supposed to temporarily lower blood sugar, which is my goal. But then the fact that I'm using edibles, which are probably packed full of sugar, is probably canceling that out and then some. But I will say, ever since the 420 episode that Grant generously thrust upon Steve and I, I've been using the edibles as a sleep aid, and it's been kind of life-changing for me because I've always had a ton of trouble sleeping. And one of the things that contributes to high blood sugar is stress and lack of sleep, and being able to get good sleep, like good high-quality sleep, and not lay in bed awake at night until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes has been really amazing for me. So that's kind of my take on it at this moment. I need to find some other way of consuming that isn't sugar laden. And I'm also just not really interested in smoking. That's not a path I want to go down. So yeah, I'm open to suggestions on that. Here's an interesting comment. 3-card Monte, type 2 diabetes. Yep, I got the sequel. Go keto or keto. I lost 143 pounds. I'm off all meds except my psychiatric drugs. Voices in my head calling me now. Man, if I lost 143 pounds, there wouldn't be a lot left. I'm not small, but I'm not that big. But congratulations, by the way. Glenn Fricker has done incredible on keto or keto. I actually don't know how it's pronounced. I kind of wonder how much room I have left to do that sort of thing, though, because I'm already really heavily based my diet on protein and just plant fiber. Like I make every meal about protein and fiber, and everything else, if it doesn't have a decent amount of protein and fiber, I don't eat it for the most part. But I've seen results in people from keto. I could probably lose another 20 pounds. So it probably wouldn't be horrifically hard for me to do that if I jumped on one of those programs. I'll look into it. I'm not too proud. I'm going to look into it. I have thought about it here and there. I'll look into it because if I could shed off 20 pounds and it made a huge difference in my blood sugar, That would be worthwhile. Rumor has it that Beanie Hat is super glued to having trouble talking. Rumor has it is that Beanie Hat is super glued to Edge's head, even if he sleeps in it. He even sleeps in it. Yeah, I'm having tough time. I don't know. I'm more concerned with Bono's glasses than Edge's hat. I'm sure he's bald under there. Has anyone seen Trey's videos lately? Trey Xavier. He's been doing some videos where he doesn't wear his beanie, and he's a bald boy under there. I gotta say, I think it's a decent look for him. He looks more badass without the beanie. So if anyone watches Guitar Gods or Gear Gods, as I think the channel, go tell Trey that he looks like a badass without his beanie. He looks very kind and very friendly with his beanie, but then he looks like a tough dude without it. Oh my goodness. Whoa, $15 super chat. Lex Dex, $14.99 officially. Happy birthday, Ryan. It's my birthday too. Happy birthday, Lex. Love all your stuff. What basses would you buy besides the Longhorn? I bought a blue Longhorn for my birthday. That's a good question, because that would have been my answer. First of all, cheers, Lex. Happy birthday to the both of us. There's 131 people in this chat. Odds are there's going to be all kinds of people sharing the same birthday. You get 366 people in a room. 2 of them are bound to have the same birthday. So anyways, cheers to your birthday, and then I'll think about basses for a second. My wife is going to come home to me laying on the couch. So if I was going to get a bass, well, I had it in my head that I wanted to get every single thing from the Squire Paranormal line, and there is a bass in that line, but I don't actually spend a lot of time thinking about that bass. I think if I was going to grab a bass, there's 2 directions I'd want to go right now. One direction would be a full scale, all the way, Big Daddy, like, it's a bass. It's just a bass. Like, stop screwing around with short scales. Get yourself a real bass. So maybe like a P bass or a J bass or something like that. Or, something not Fender. Oh, man. Hallmark makes some like Mosrite style basses. Ooh, that'd be fun. The other direction is to go towards my short scale inclinations for bass and get like a Mustang bass, like one of the super cheap little Affinity Mustang basses. I've always had an eye on those. But I am really not good at bass at all. It's a completely different discipline. And when I play bass, it's worse than a guitarist playing bass. It's a bad guitarist playing really bad bass. But thanks for the super chat, Lex. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, I could get behind a Cheeto diet. No, you eat enough Cheetos and it's like the Captain Crunch effect. It starts destroying your mouth. But I do like a nice bag of spicy Cheetos. Interestingly, corn stuff, anything really densely corn based on paper is low glycemic and seems to be kind of fine for me. Like, I can eat a lot of like corn tortillas and corn chips and stuff like that, and it doesn't seem to have an effect, which is nice because I love salsa, I love Mexican food and whatnot. No, Cheetos are mostly corn, but I haven't eaten them since getting my diagnosis. Basil says whole food plant-based. That's basically most of the way of what I do. Like, I do most of the cooking for myself. I cook a good portion of the dinners. My wife has actually been doing a good job of stepping up and cooking a lot more around here, especially for the kids and everything like that. But when I cook, it's like I start with just a piece of meat, and then I do some light seasoning, and then I do some sort of veggies on the side. I don't get into a lot of processed foods in my normal diet. I've always had a bit of a sweet tooth, but I really have a suspicion that my diabetes is a genetic thing, because my parents both got it around this age. So I think it's just, my genetic fate in life, the genetic lottery that I won. 3-card Monty says, it's hard at first, but I'm never hungry now. I only eat once a day. I'm assuming he's talking about keto. So I don't think I could go to eating once a day. I'm a grazer. Yeah, Daryl says stay away from enriched flour, corn, or whole wheat. That's where I tend to live. I've embraced corn. I actually tend to stay away from even whole wheat as a rule. Every now and then, a couple times a week, I'll allow myself, a simple sandwich or something like that. All my teeth are sweet teeth, says Basil Tiffany. Oh, they're coming up quick. Oh, here is a big question. Geez. Dan K asks, Ryan, how do you expect this pandemic will impact guitar stores long term? I'm honestly wondering if we'll see a lot of the bigger stores have to pull back in their presence in the world, whether that means, guitar stores like Guitar Center, Sam Ash, etc., closing locations that are underperforming, focusing on high performing locations, and reopening potential for smaller businesses to pop up. They can pop up quickly and adapt to a local kind of market. So I'm hoping when this passes, I know that the pandemic is killing small businesses all over the place, but when it's over, people are going to need to get back to business. People are going to be grabbing opportunities to start new businesses. I think we're going to see a fresh wave of mom and pops spring out of this as the big box stores struggle to recoup just because they're burdened under the weight of their own size. So that's my hope anyways. I am no, economic person. I'm not a business person at all. I'm not smart with that sort of stuff, but that's my imagination hoping for the best. And I really do hope that we see kind of like a boutique reflection of the market in local mom and pop stores, like specialist stores that pop up like, oh, here's a store that just really knows pedals. And yeah, you got to drive downtown to get to it. But man, they've got all the current pedals. Or this is a store that specializes in, USA made off-brand guitars. Like you get your Cowers, you get your, your Sullys and stuff like that in there. That sort of stuff. Oh, Emily's here. Hey, Emily.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'll do a half shot to that. What do you got there?
It's a margarita in a can.
What? Well, we're both doing a
San Diego brand.
Oh, really? Yeah, Cutwater. That's cool. Yeah. I haven't had one of those.
Good. Oh, shockingly good. Like, yeah, very worth it.
A buddy of mine, he has a birthday a few days separated from mine, and he came over last night to say hi. And he's on the AA sort of thing, but he had a 6-pack of NA from those guys for non-alcoholic beer, and it was actually very good.
Nice.
But yeah,
always
cheers.
Good to have those options. Yeah. So other than doing this, what you been doing for your birthday?
I put together the results video for the Kuvave giveaway.
Nice.
I've got that box around here somewhere. So I need to message the winner and tell him to send me my address. But otherwise, it was the first day of school for my 6-year-old, and he's starting homeschool because we're not going to put up with the BS of what the public schools are doing right now.
Yeah, it seems to not be good.
Yeah, it seems to be like a bad option all around. Like it's like 3 hours on an iPad, and then they expect you to put in 3 more hours on your own teaching the kid. And it's like, what if we just did our own schooling with our own 3 hours, and we wouldn't need the other 3 hours?
Honestly, it's like it's hard as an adult to be on Skype meetings or Zoom meetings all day.
Yeah. Can you imagine being married to an iPad for 3 hours as a 6-year-old trying to focus on a teacher that's trying to focus on a Zoom meeting with like
30 kids at least,
26-year-olds, 36-year-olds?
No.
It just sounds like a bad idea. But the people who need it, the people who will rely on that, that's what they got to do. And
I mean, if you don't have a choice.
Yeah, maybe us, in the very fortunate position that we are, that we can attempt to provide our own schooling. Maybe us pulling ourselves out of that will ease the burden
Yeah. I
to
mean, you
some
were
extent.
homeschooled.
I was homeschooled junior high through high school, and
That's
I'm
just the
mostly
opposite,
normal.
I think.
It's a little bit interesting to me to see how many people are talking homeschool right now with their kids when, I grew up with it seeming like it was kind of like taboo to mention that you were homeschooled because people would be like, "Oh, ugh, are you okay?"
Well, there's like a couple of reasons that people homeschool, and I think
Yeah.
that some of those reasons are weird.
Oh, no, I can
Yeah.
tell you from being someone who's on the inside, yes.
Yeah.
there's a lot of weird stuff that goes down. But I think at this time in what we're going through, I think mostly it's going to be normal people looking for alternatives to a messed up situation. So,
The hard part will be keeping your kids socialized.
yeah,
Yeah.
my feeling on that is that my 6-year-old is already so hypersocial that like he's not struggling in that area. It's like we're not like hoping like, oh man, we need to get him out so that he's can function in society. He's going to be fine. The side that we need to stay up on is making sure he's engaged enough that he doesn't go crazy.
Yeah. I feel like the older they get, kind of the easier it is to not to worry about the socialization. My brother didn't put his daughter into like any sort of preschool, any kind of daycare situation for I think probably 18 months, and she had some. She didn't like it when they were gone. She was not used to not being around any of them ever.
Yeah.
So even if it was my husband and I watching them, she'd be like, "They're never coming back." It's like, I just don't know how to live. Oh, someone thinks COVID is a political hoax. Nice.
Matt Tobin says Ryan homeschooled but is an expert at handling online bullying.
Maybe that's why.
I have siblings. I know what bullying is. Also, I went to public school kindergarten through 6th grade. So
Yeah.
I mean, I know what's up. I know what
That's
bullying is.
important.
Yeah. Also, like bullies happen at all ages. Also,
Yeah.
like homeschooling isn't being completely alone. The people who do it fairly well or fairly normally are doing a lot of organized field trips and get-togethers and stuff like that. When I was homeschooled, we had 2 regular get-togethers every week. Like we had like a park day where you go to like a public park and everyone have a picnic for lunch, and you get to socialize with other local families and kids and stuff that are doing the same thing. And then there'd always be like a field trip or like some sort of other event during the week. And so there's a lot of like busy stuff like that where you're not just going to be stuck in your house with your mom and your siblings.
Well, I know my friend Amy, she and her sisters were homeschooled, and part of that was because their parents wanted to be able to like take them to national parks to kind of enrich their like natural sciences education, or go to museums instead of just learning stuff from books. So it really, I think it depends on the parents a lot. Like some of my smartest friends were homeschooled, and
yeah,
they're, to be honest, we're pretty awkward when we started college together.
I mean, I've seen it all. I've seen people who thrived in homeschooling. I saw people who should not have been homeschooled. I've seen people who thrived in public school, private school, and the opposite of that. I think it really comes down to the parents having a realistic perception of what their kids need, which can be tough because adults are messed up too and don't really understand what's going on a lot of the time. But if you're the parents can have a good bead on what their kids actually need and can make the decision like, oh, they're not really thriving in this environment, then change gears. So
no, I get that. And there are tons of people who did go to public school who aren't well socialized and don't have
right
skills.
I had a fun moment at a wedding years and years and years back where it came up that I was homeschooled, and this guy who was at the same table as all of us, who for an hour that we had been there at the reception had just been annoying and just been pissing off everyone around him, was like, "Oh, you were homeschooled? How is it possible you ever learned how to socialize?" And you could see the look in everyone's eyes, like, "How did you learn how to socialize? What is going on with you?"
Maybe you did not learn how to socialize.
Didn't?
You think that you are good at socializing because you may have to, maybe not.
Yeah. It was not my plan for us to homeschool our kids. I'll say that. With Henry being as social as he is, I assumed he was going to be a shoo-in for public school. But so the situation as it is, it seems to be the best option right now.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a public school teacher, and so we were always going to go to public schools.
My mom was a public school teacher.
Yeah.
Well,
that's probably why you got a good homeschool education.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of an autopilot sort of situation. Once you get lined up with the curriculum and you learn the basics of how to like self-teach, you just do it.
Everybody has do you dye your hair blonde?
Jay Garcia asked, do I dye my hair blonde? No. If I dyed my hair blonde, you think I would spend the time to make my eyebrows invisible?
Is your beard blonde?
Yeah. Well, my beard has other stuff going on in it. It's got some
your translucent arm hair.
Yeah. If I had dark arm hair, I would look like some sort of beast. Because I've got a lot of arm hair going on.
No, I don't have that much.
Yeah. Well,
I kind of lucked out in the hair department. This is the easiest to maintain. The maintenance is.
Let's go through and see if I missed any good questions.
Someone asked if you were married.
Yeah, he's asking all the hot questions. I am married. My wife actually checked in with a comment a little while ago. She's at the zoo with the kids. I also asked, do I write songs? I've had 3 bands in my life that I wrote songs for. So, yes, but they're not good. I wrote
other people be the judge of that.
Yeah, well, I wrote songs for my instrumental surf band, and I think that's really the key, is to not have lyrics. And then I don't feel so awkward about my songs.
Words are hard, man. I just wrote words for a song for the first time since like maybe 8 years.
Yeah. I'd rather not ever do that again.
I like it. I used to like it a lot. I just kind of got out of practice. I wanted to focus more on getting better at guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just forgot about writing lyrics. I'm like, those are the people who do that. I'm probably never going to be the singer, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. When I was in bands where I was writing lyrics, I was also working a day job where I would go take my lunch break and my breaks and whatnot. And I would sit there and strum an acoustic guitar in my car and just like notebook out a bunch of random lyrics and then like have the beginning of a song that way. Doing that every day. I don't have time for that now. I don't have any deep revelations to write songs around. Like,
I have a question. I have a question for you though.
Uh-huh.
So obviously guitar has always been a hobby for you, at least since high school. But do you find that now that you're doing guitar professionally all day and every day, you don't play for fun as much, or do you still like make time to play for fun, or are there other hobbies that you fill that hobby void with?
I tend to grab the guitar for my around the house hobby. I grab the guitar and my little battery Katana amp, and I sit on the couch and I run through the Zoom MS50, I think is the model, and mess around with just different sounds and stuff, and watch TV and noodle and watch YouTube videos of people playing and try to pick up the riffs and stuff. Like, and that's fun for me. Like, even though like I spent the day filming a pedal demo and editing myself playing a bunch of nonsense, like I still sit on the couch and want to mess around with guitar at the end of the night. So yeah, it is still fun for me, which makes my work life easier to have fun doing what I'm doing, Yeah,
that's really good. Do you saw that Isotope Spires thing? Because I saw that advertised everywhere for about 6 months, and I haven't heard anything about it since.
I do, and I have it on my desk upstairs right now. I was looking at it the other day, like, I wonder if I should sell that because I'm not using it very often. It's a great headphone solution and a great like on the spot recording sort of solution. That's just not what I'm doing right now. So I had the thought,
like a better solution than something like the Teisco interface. You have one of these, right?
I do. With the Teisco interface, you have to plug it into something. So you have to have a laptop You have to have, whatever it can run into. The Squire is standalone. You don't even need to plug into it because it's got a mic. I think it's a really good standalone, like sketchbook kind of device for people who are songwriters and want to develop like a song on the fly. Obviously, it's going to be limited in what you can actually do compared to like running a laptop with GarageBand or something like that, or whatever other program, Cubase. I don't know.
When it was about 95 degrees in Seattle, which is very hot for Seattle, we only have one room with AC, so I just took that little Teisco up into the bedroom. We ran the AC, and I was just kind of screwing around with that thing on GarageBand on my phone. It was really. I remember you said that GarageBand had a lot more solid sounds in it than you expected.
Yeah,
I agree. Like
the spring reverb in GarageBand is kind of blowing me away.
Yeah.
Alex. Hey man, how you doing?
You added me.
I did. Of course. Anyone who joins, I'm going to add them.
Hey, cheers to you. Happy birthday.
I'm not counting, but I think I might be on shot 5 or 6 now.
Sweet Jesus.
I see the orange in the background. Good to meet you, Emily.
Hey, I have a little orange boy in the corner. You can't see it.
A little orange boy.
A tiny boy.
That orange is the one that, how do I point at it? That orange is the one that I got at Toman, and I poured food all over it. I poured currywurst sauce all over it.
From the How to Avoid Your Warranty series.
Yeah. Do you work for Orange? Is that what your name's about?
I've been there for 13 years. I'm in charge of artist relations. I
Cool.
guess no one's seeing my live streams. This is so disappointing to hear that no one even.
I don't watch anybody else's stuff. I'm editing and doing my own stuff.
That's fair, Ryan. That's totally fair. Well, I know who you are, so
that's good news.
big importance here.
So we got redheaded beard over here and blonde beard over here.
100%. I'm graying quickly, and I can't wait because I'm tired of being asked if the reason I work at Orange is because I have an orange beard. So sick of that shit.
I mean,
cheers, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Cheers to you guys. I just wanted to stop in and say happy birthday, and I love your content. And right, man, you should come on my show sometime. I'll send you an email. We'll talk.
Yeah, send me a link, and I'll jump on.
So you guys rule.
You rule.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your birthday. See you, Ryan.
Later, dude.
Orange beards.
The other people I've met from Orange are the president and the president's son, Charlie.
I've met Charlie, I think, and Sean Pierce Johnson did a live thing like this. I think Charlie was there.
Yeah, I got very drunk at a NAMM like 3 years ago, and I spent a lot of time talking to this dude from Orange Amps. And then when I hobbled to the side, the guitar nerds were there. And they're like, do you know who that is? And I was like, yeah, that's Charlie. He's at Orange Amps. And they're like, yeah, he's the son of the owner. I was like, now I understand who I was talking to.
Getting drunk with important people. Always good. Always good.
But we were having some sort of big business conversation, and we were both like going back and forth like, I'll email you. No, I'll email you.
That's so cute. It's like, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. I think he hung up. What an asshole.
And I thought I was drunk at that party, and then I saw how drunk Joe Branton was.
I was mostly sad to miss NAMM this year because I heard about how drunk Aaron got. I was like, oh man. I wish I could have seen that.
Hey Lex, you're the guy who super chatted me, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Thank you, sir.
Cool. I wanted to show you the bass.
Yes, show me a bass.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the Longhorn that I got. Yeah. Beautiful. I traded it for my Dan Electric Dead-On that I had for years, but I'm mostly a bass player now. So I switched, and I saw this on Reverb, and I was like, okay. Within like 30 minutes, it was only up for a little bit. So That's right.
How much was it on reverb?
Well, see, I've only bought like 2 or 3 things on a reverb so far, so I think I paid like 500 for it. But
Yeah,
the
that's
guitar I sold was like 400. So I was like $100 difference isn't bad. So
yeah, pretty close to a lateral move there.
Yeah.
I tried one of those Longhorns at Toman.
You know,
Sorry.
Okay.
I tried one of those Longhorns at Toman, and then for like months, like every other band that I was watching online or like went to a show to had a Longhorn there. I was like, oh my gosh, I want one. I'm not a bassist, but I want one. And every time like live, they would sound huge.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've only seen them live once. The Young Fresh Fellows had one. I was like, damn, that's cool.
But Man or Astro Man uses one. The Surfer Jets uses one. I saw them both on the same show, I think, or like a week apart from each other. Yeah. A bunch of other bands use them. And there's something about it's crazy because they just have guitar lipsticks in them. I don't think they're any different than from a Dan Electro pickup. But there's something about it that just works, and they sound massive. And they're short scale. I don't know. It's weird. They're a short scale, right? I'm not making that up.
Yeah, no, it's a short scale, and I mean when you pick them up, there's not any other bass that's like them. It's just they're very different. And I remember playing one that I saw in Sam Ash, and it was I'm not a great bass player, but I started gathering a crowd because everybody's like, what on earth is that? And it's great. No, they sound amazing. I don't know how Dan Electro does it. Yeah.
I always wanted one of the guitar versions of the Longhorn too that has like 38 frets or something like that. It's called like the Guitar Lin or something like that. It's like a cross between a guitar and a mandolin in theory, just because the frets go so high.
Yeah.
They came out. They had them in the late 90s, and I wish I'd picked one up because
mandolins are so hard to play.
Super hard. How does anyone play a mandolin? It doesn't make any sense.
I have one, and every time I play, I'm like, my fingers hurt so badly, and the frets are so small, even for my little baby hands. Like, God.
It's like it's tiny, and then the strings are really hard, and then they double up the strings to make it even harder. Whoever invented the mandolin, asshole.
And then like
Mandocello, though, that's an instrument.
No, you're breaking the mandolin's also weird because like. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right.
I might just have to leave the stream, but like the mandolin strings are weird because like the bottom 2 strings are a G, and then it goes backwards from a bass. So anything that I thought would be useful from knowing how to isn't. So it's like, what do I do then? So well, I'll leave you guys alone because I'm breaking up. So you guys have a good one. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Thanks, Lex. I really appreciate it. Cool bass.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's me, not you.
A friend's got a mandolin, and I picked it up and like, oh, just play it. Just imagine that it's an upside down guitar because it is guitar tuning but upside down. You could do guitar chord shapes if you just flip them upside down.
Maybe depending on how you tune it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Haven't seen this in a while, but I got this at a pawn shop for a song.
Now you've got one of the curly top ones. There's also like the mandolins that are more just like a straight teardrop.
I think those are called the A shape. I actually wrote the reverb.com landing page about mandolins. So I learned a lot about folk instruments, but I found my tuner had been wondering where that was. Obviously, I played this in a long time. But my buddy Brian is like professionally a mandolin player.
Isn't mandolin just an 8-string ukulele? I'm pretty sure the tuning is completely different. Because a ukulele is tuned like the 4 highest strings on a regular guitar, just put with a capo on the 5th fret. That's how ukulele is tuned. But the
Not the mandolin.
The top string. I was confused like how you should refer to it. The top string, the string closest to your face, is a higher octave than would be your guitar string, but it is still the same tuning. Where mandolin is a different tuning.
Oh, you're right. It's of a guitar.
Yeah, it's the upside down. So you could like flip a G shape upside down or flip an E shape upside down.
Yeah, I don't know. I played one gig with it. paid for the mandolin. I do that a lot.
Sassy Cat is in the house. Meow.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, man. How are you doing?
It's Monday. What can I say? It's could be the weekend still, but
it's better to
here
be
we are.
here than the alternative, which is to not be anywhere. Every time my grandmother would have a birthday, she'd be like, "I'm another year older, but it's better than the alternative."
Right. I don't know. We're not so sure. There could be a lot of fun stuff waiting on the other side, or it could be really bad. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or worse yet, nothing.
Or nothing kind of sounds relaxing.
What's
sometimes.
wrong with that? That's what I expect. I'm a stone cold atheist. I'm like, when you die, you die.
Yeah, I'm a religious person, but sometimes nothing sounds pretty nice.
bury me under a tree. Make me tree fertilizer.
I don't even want to be buried. Just leave me out and let me dry out.
those green burials where they wrap you in a burlap sack and then just put you somewhere and then you become one with the earth. I'm like, that's fine.
The sky, I like this. The sky funerals. We went dark as soon as Sassy joined. We're like, let's get dark.
Let's just talk on a birthday. Let's talk about death.
They have the sky burials when just like they leave you out on the side of a mountain and the vultures come and eat you, and like it's a nice way of saying the birds carry you away. I'm done with that.
All right.
I used to think that I cared about, burial versus cremation or whatever. I'm like, I don't even care about either of those anymore. It's just like, I don't care. Just dispose of the body. Like, it doesn't matter.
Just I think the ocean, shark food, fantastic. Do it.
If my family wants to do some sort of memorial for me where they can go visit it, my vote is like, pay the city for one of those park benches at the beach that has a plaque on it. I don't care what you do with my remains. Like put a park bench somewhere with a plaque about me.
And don't put that weird bar in the middle. Let people sleep on it if they need to sleep on it.
Make it a soft seat for homeless people.
Yes, I like that.
Make it something somewhere where like you're gonna go there on your own and you can remember me when you see it. Like, oh yeah, there's this great grandpa's chair.
How about they all get one guitar?
Yeah.
They just pick it up and they hold it or they play it and then they're like, oh, that's Ryan.
Oh my gosh, here's a business idea right now. You send people's remains to a place and they squish it into a magnet and then they turn it into a pickup.
Oh shit.
I was thinking something more along the lines of they cremate you, they mix you in with some kind of resin or whatever, and then you become a guitar. Yeah. Or a ukulele or whatever. And then they say, oh, well, where's Grampy? Oh, he's right there. Hanging on the wall, sitting on the couch, whatever.
And that's how you get those haunting mids too,
Well done. Yeah. Well done.
That makes me wonder, when was the last time JHS released a pedal?
Yeah, like being in a pedal would be good because then it's something like it's easy to keep around. You can put it on the mantle.
Mm-hmm. Or a guitar pick so you can get lost in the laundry.
Hey, Damien.
How was work, Damien?
Yeah. You put into a guitar pick and like Emily. You hear the rattling in the machine. You're like, there's Grandpa.
Yeah, and you clean out the lid. You're like, oh, there he is.
I think
Grip like Delrin.
There's a whole other meaning to the term death rattle.
Oh my god!
So wait, but if you got turned into a guitar pick, what kind of, or a guitar pedal, what kind of pedal would you get turned? Would like? Because that's what I thought I heard.
I did, my initial gut is to say 250, but then honestly, just put me into the craziest fuzz pedal you can find.
Oh, a DoD 250, or just like the very most rarest of the 50/50s.
You know, if you could squish a bunch of, you know, someone's carbon remains into some sort of carbon capacitor, which I know is a thing. Yeah. And you built a fuzz pedal around it. Grant, if you're watching right now, business idea. You squish someone into a capacitor, into a tuner. That would be smart. You squish someone into a capacitor, built a fuzz pedal around it. It doesn't matter what it sounds like, but that's the sound of grandpa or grandma. You know.
No, you do a tuner because then no one will get rid of you. Everyone will just be like, "Oh no, we can't get rid of Pappy. Like he's the tuner, man. He's
the tuner. Yeah, you got him.
He's so important to the family."
Well, I need to turn to my grandfather right now for advice. Grandfather, am I in tune?
or
I always say tuning is caring.
Or can you like mix the ashes into the goop of a clon and just go like, oh,
goop it, yeah.
I'd be the goop.
be the goopiest.
What about a pick guard? Then it's front and center. You get a pick guard made out of ashes.
Yeah.
Probably possible.
Ooh.
Actually, I think.
And then you slowly get worn away.
You have to be in like every gig. Yeah, exactly right.
But you'd have to be like, I feel like it'd have to be like a super metal guitar though. But not a BC Rich, like super metal, but not.
We're all going to try and find out that the only people who ever had it right were Egyptians, and they're like, "You didn't have your body buried with a bunch of stuff, and you just have nothing now." Like, what sucks?
The afterlife is just like, oh, like, damn, like, wow, you didn't even have like, you just have like that suit. That's it. Like, oh, okay, whatever. Like,
yeah.
Damn, they really set you up bad.
I'm gonna be alone with my own thoughts for eternity, I guess.
Well, all the Egyptians are there with all their organs and boats and servants and stuff and cats, and we got nothing.
So
maybe I'll get murdered. Maybe I'll get murdered and thrown in a weird sinkhole, and then I'll have like all of everybody's garbage, like all the fridges and refrigerators they didn't want to actually take to the dump. It's just me.
Yeah.
A bunch of refrigerators and transistor radios I gotta fix up.
So if you get buried, like you get murdered and buried in a shallow grave, like when you show up in the afterlife in the Egyptian reality, do like the worms and the squirrels and the rodents come with you? Like, well, I've got my buddy here, this little worm guy, this is my friend.
The bot flies that consume you, like, oh, what's up? Yeah. Like, got my friends with me. What's up with you?
I was buried with my murder weapons, so I got a machete.
You wake up in the afterlife with like a bunch of plastic bags and stuff. This is your fault, Dusty Cat. We went dark the moment you showed up, and we haven't been able to pull out of it. I don't know why.
Maybe we're in a bad ayahuasca trip. Just barfing in front of everybody.
See, I wish that was like the answer behind 2020, and then like, you know, we're just gonna wake up and it's gonna be like, I don't know, like 2007.
A fever dream.
God, I would be graduating from high school and be like, do everything differently.
Doesn't matter what anyone tells you, listen to me.
Don't trust your boyfriend.
First of all, there's this ape in a zoo. Don't let him die.
Oh, that was my hometown.
Harambe.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, what happened?
Harambe.
What happened with him though?
He was shot because there was a child in the pen, and they understandably chose the child over the gorilla.
No, but I'm saying, what did you say to that I missed?
That was my hometown zoo.
Oh,
I grew up seeing that gorilla.
Oh.
They all like the kids to go on snow days because then the gorillas like to make snowballs and throw them. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
Yeah,
So
they learned it from humans.
Probably.
I don't know why. Anytime I see that anyone has died, no matter whether they're good or bad, my first thought has been they're with Harambe now. Here's one for Harambe.
Oh my god. Oh, that's 6. Okay.
Is it? I don't know.
You said the
I feel all
11
right.
was 5.
We got a good question earlier. It was for you and me, Emily, but it can be for all of us, Damien and Sassy. What is your most unique guitar that you own?
Ooh, give me 1 second then.
You
Hold
go
on.
first, Brian.
Go grab something. I'll look around and try to figure it out. I've got a lot of stuff that's unique. Oh yeah, the Tunatone for sure. That thing is wild.
Yeah, I need to get a new pickguard for it. But
what's wrong with the pickguard?
Oh, I fucked up.
What did you do? Hold on,
this was not a construction issue. Oh,
Sassy's got a traveling Wilburys.
Ooh.
Oh, we got a pink SG here.
Why is there a leaf on it, Damien?
We've all
so there's a leaf on it because my wife bought these like little ivy stickers that we put around the apartment to like spruce things up and make it all fancy. So this is like this guitar is very much inspired by her. It has like there's like a Sting from the Lord of the Rings is on it because of like I kind of named this guitar after my cat Bilbo. And it's kind of his guitar, but yeah, Also guitars, woo!
I love this.
Yeah,
Layla does such killer work.
The bridge on that Tunatone is like one of the wildest things I've ever seen. Just a completely different kind of design on that.
Oh, whoa!
It's just a chunk of brass sticking out of the guitar.
It's just like an acoustic guitar. That's who she learned to build guitars from. Was like Dion James, who does his acoustic guitars. But I busted up the pick guard a little bit trying to get these very, very snug grounding issue. It was my fault.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you posed. Okay, I remember that.
She's just sending me a new one, so she's.
I've got this thing that Grant
sent you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Maverick shape, but it's an old Tysco guitar.
That's so sick.
That's as problematic and weird as it looks, but there's something really fun about sitting around playing this thing. And the trim is actually super smooth and fun on it for an old Tysco trim.
Either you're gigantic or that's very small.
It is very small. It is a very small guitar. And it has
yeah, because it's one of those like Japanese, like 60s Japanese weirdos.
But I am also gigantic. It is yes, it's smaller than
sized.
It might be the same size as the Duo Sonic, but it's definitely smaller than the Supersonic. Put it to the side there.
Yeah, I posted this in the podcast group though. This was I got it for free. My buddy gave it to me because he got it. Someone came into Sam Ash with it, and may or may not have just like left it there. And they couldn't sell it because all of this was just like cut off the guitar. I guess the dude who owned it before they got it, had like shoulder issues, so he couldn't get his arm over like the portion of the body. So I had new wood put on, and I colored it, and I love it.
Wow, that's a major operation. You put more wood into it because it was mangled. It had a cutaway.
I didn't. I paid people to do it because my apartment doesn't allow me to do it. I had to like use my car to let the guitar actually like dry off because I did like full nitro paint. Yeah, my car smelled awful for like weeks. It was crazy. Yeah, shell pink. And it's awesome. I love it. I have a P90 in the neck, original humbucker in the bridge. It's great. And it's funny too because both I have this and then I have that EBO bass. Both Gibsons I own I got for free. And I mean, I'm not really like going out of my way to get Gibsons. I know, right?
Be right back.
I got my Epiphone there for
yeah. So how is it though?
It's weird. I like it a lot. It's the thinnest neck and flattest radius of a fretboard I've ever seen.
That's so sick.
It's such a bendy solo guy.
I remember I saw one at Guitar Center like years ago, and it was, yes, very Fast and Furious. Not 10 out of 10. Do not recommend it. But yeah, I saw one at Guitar Center like years ago, and I'm still a little mad that I didn't pick it up. But it was like, I think they wanted like 5 something for it, and I was just like, I'm sure I could see one on like Craigslist for way cheaper.
Yeah, originally so I got this because my drummer was selling a Telly parts gasket he had, and some guy offered this for trade plus like $300, and I was like $400. I'm like, damn, that's not a good deal. Ask him for $250, and I'll buy it. So he sold it to me for $250.
Mine is so weird too.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Damien, you've got an incredible amount of noise coming from your signal right now. I don't know what happened.
That's probably. I think that was my wife getting something out of the fridge. I'm pretty close to my kitchen. Our apartment's very small.
Okay, it was like this weird, crazy, like Tronish digital noise.
Oh.
I don't know what was happening, but I muted you for a second. But now it's better.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a thin though. It's a really thin neck.
That's so sick.
Okay,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this neck that much, but I'm not gonna complain. Oh, wait, that's one of those victories, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Victory MVX.
That is crazy. Wow.
I love the headstock on those. I saw oh god, what was it? It was like a prototype RD that had a headstock like that. And it was like the coolest thing I ever saw. And if I had $3,000, I would absolutely buy it. Oh, that's so sick.
That's super cool.
You got a question, Ryan?
Oh, I do? Where'd it go?
It's Dr. Smith. It's 571.
Oh. Is Henning really that much of a pain in the ass? I love Henning, but he is a character for sure. And if you're not on board for the person that Henning is, I'm going to mute you, Damien, because the noise is wild. There's like a weird digital noise. I'm going to mute you for a second. But Henning is such a wild character that if you're not on board to kind of be on the same page with him, then you're probably going to have a bad time with Henning. But I love Henning, and I love that energy, and I love just kind of the way he operates. But he like, it's definitely like when he's running something, it's definitely the Henning show, and you don't want to deviate from that because that will completely like shove the train off the rails.
I mean, sometimes you have to be just along for the ride and not driving the car.
Yeah, and I like the ride with Henning. Like, and he's great at running that ride. I don't want to do anything to interrupt that. But he is a character. Henning is a full-on character, and I love that about him. He's got a strong personality, and he's a very unique person to know, and I love that about him. As far as being a pain in the ass, I mean, you could say that about anyone that's different, you know. I'm a pain in the ass a lot of times.
I suck. I pissed my singer off so bad yesterday.
All right. Hi, Mike. We got Mike here. I've unmuted Damien. It sounds like Oh, you changed
Mike.
better, I think.
Yeah, I just changed mics. So hopefully that wasn't a help.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, happy birthday, Ryan.
And we got a mic. Hey.
Hey, Mike. Oh man.
You're showing off weird guitars, so I figured I'd bring this one out.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, Damien's lost his damn mind.
That thing is wild.
I saw that in the group and was super stoked on it.
Cool.
You bought that. You bought
I
that.
couldn't hear anything you said. It's all cutting out. It's on my end.
Ah, bummer. Yeah, you're a little skippy, and you're like one frame, every 30 seconds. But that guitar is wild. Every time you post it on the group, it's a trip.
Oh.
How do you like it? Is it good? Is it a good player?
You're cutting out, but it's pretty cool price I paid for it. It's actually neck through.
Oh, wow.
Obviously a wood shop project, but do not pick up it plays fine. It's got a weird in the back of the neck. And I'm a big guy. It probably seems tiny in my hands.
Yeah, you're
and I'm
cutting out.
probably going to run because I can't hear anyone. Yeah.
All right. If you want to hang out, that's fine. I'm going to mute you because you're cutting out so much. It's impossible. Okay, he's gone. Thanks for sharing. That guitar is wild. Everyone, like, go join the Facebook group if you haven't. And he posts that thing from time to time, and it's a trip. He bought it off of Craigslist from, you know, someone in a dark parking lot or something like that. I think.
It was a pawn shop.
I keep dropping the link in the comments if anyone else wants to join on. Everyone is welcome. Jay Cross is in the comments.
Jay,
how are you doing, man?
Why aren't you in this chat, Jay?
Jay, click the link and join. It's got to be freaking like 2 o'clock in the morning over there or something right now.
What time is it right now in the UK?
It's probably a little after 11.
Oh, he's probably in his pajamas.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
That's a Tuesday night, man.
There's no every time I would like FaceTime my family from Toman, it would be like 2 o'clock in the morning Germany time, and my family would be like, "Oh yeah, it's like 11 o'clock or something like that in the morning." I just feel completely dead.
Yeah.
Same.
You also have been doing stuff all day.
Just to touch back on the Henning comments, my favorite videos from NAMM where you and Henning are going around early in the morning exploring the different guitars and everything, coming across that one brand that was just like paper thin. And had that emerald green, and you were just like, "Oh yeah, I'm all about this." And Henning's just kind of like,
"Yeah, if it's not flamed maple, Henning doesn't want it. But if it's metal flake, oh man, I can't stop looking at it." But yeah, that was a Diamond is the brand, and it was an offshoot of a Dean Zielinski brand from Dean Guitars, who now runs, I think, just Zielinski Guitars. I don't know.
Something like that. He has like
just Zielinski
companies.
But man, that thing was wild. But the rest of the guitars from that brand are all shreddy metal pointy things. But they had this hyper thin, paper thin semi-hollow with heavy duty green metal flake.
Oof, that sounds like a U guitar.
Oh, I still want it. And it had a Bixby on it. I still want it.
Yeah.
I still want that guitar.
Just be like,
it was like, Ryan,
hey, listen,
get it.
You know who I am.
I think I did
Patreon money.
I sent them a link to the video. Well, I think the thing is that there's only they only made that one, and the one that they had it at the last name, and I did another video of it and had a chip in it.
Oh,
yeah. So I don't know.
Well, now might be
do you
the
have
time for
any
you to
ideas?
get it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not. Here's the thing. Here's a challenging thing for me being in the business that I'm in. If I can't provide an affiliate link to something,
but they have other guitar stuff, right?
It makes it a lot harder for me to feel motivated to do the work to get it, you know. And that stuff barely exists on the internet. So
they have like a Firebird-esque shape, which is pretty fun, and I'm pretty sure they have one with like competition stripes on it, which is pretty cool. It's like black and red. But yeah, I don't know. I've played a few and I wasn't super like impressed by them. I felt like they were sort of in that like LTD Schecter sort of range.
Oh,
it's like yeah, whatever.
I mean, it totally felt like a Schecter LTD sort of guitar, which is fine. Like I actually kind of really enjoy guitars that push into like a higher performance sort of feel. And the fact that it didn't have a higher performance look is why I liked it. Like I've always wanted a guitar that looks like a 60s psychedelic surfy sort of thing, but then plays like an Ibanez gem, you know?
Yeah.
So it kind of lives in that place, and that's kind of what.
Maybe you get a signature Ibanez. I mean, Jared Dines has a signature guitar.
Ooh.
That's a person, right?
I think it's up in my office. The Starfield is kind of like that for me, where it's a vintage style looking guitar, but then it just plays like an Ibanez.
That's what you do. You just tell Ibanez, listen, do you have any idea who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Listen, look at these super chats I get.
I'm
on camera.
I'm very well known for sucking at guitar on the internet. Will you please make something for me?
I'm the world's okayest guitarist. How have you not heard of me? I am aggressively mediocre. Maybe that rings a bell.
Henning had some sort of quote on me that I meant to publish to Instagram. You were in that article, Emily.
I was, yes. It was
ultimate.
Jared Dines did a video about the article today, and then he said my name, and I was like,
Whoa.
maybe I'm gonna get no boost, no movements.
I don't remember exactly what Henning said about me, but what he said was completely true about me. Basically, like, I don't care and I just do my own thing. Yeah. Sort of like I'm not anyone's guitar hero, but that doesn't stop me, sort of thing.
You gotta learn some of those country licks. I heard you talking about that one time.
Yeah.
I bought a chicken picking book. I can recommend it to you.
Nice. I've been trying to flirt with like Bakersfield country sort of sounds.
Well, that's the best.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
Just I want to play so fast that it doesn't matter if I'm in time or not.
You know, like Buck Owens.
Yeah.
Buck Owens from Tacoma. If you haven't listened to the Cocaine and Rhinestones episodes about Buck Owens, they're good.
I'll look that. Is that a podcast?
Yeah, Cocaine and Rhinestones. Tyler Mahan Co. David Allen Coe's son. Yeah, that guy did not have much of a chance growing up. He was talking. He's like, sometimes I'll just be like sitting back, like eating cereal, and I'll remember the time that my dad's cougar scratched me across the face when I was 6, and I'll be like, oh, that happened.
Oh my gosh, guys. Jay has joined.
Yay! It's Jay.
Hey gang, how we doing?
You look like you have a Fu Manchu happening, friend.
Well, basically I've been working at home for the last 6 months, and so I just decided I just let it go. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm feeling good about it. Like I kind of never thought I could grow. And actually that's kind of one of the things I wanted to ask you, Ryan. Like, as long as we've known each other, you've had a beard. When did that kick off? Like, how old were you when you were like, I'm just going to let this go? Because happy birthday, by the way. Many happy returns. It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago. I just turned 33, and this is the first time I felt comfortable having any facial hair whatsoever. I want to know, someone with like fierce facial hair, fierce recognizable facial hair, when were you like, yeah, I can do this. This is good.
So my facial hair came in strong when I was like 13, like almost 13, like that age.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was the 90s.
Damien.
Oh, bye, Damien.
Bye.
It was the 90s, so I went straight into having a goatee because that was on my first driver's license, this big old goatee. And then I got a job that was like no facial hair, because apparently that was still a thing in the 90s. You couldn't have
that was the thing in the 2000s too.
You couldn't have
at amusement parks. I worked at an amusement park, and all you were allowed to have was a well-groomed mustache. If you were,
they wouldn't let you have a beard, Emily.
That's wild.
I mean, I was a beard, but I didn't have a beard.
So anyways, for a number of years I couldn't have any. Well, the grocery store that I worked at would let you have a mustache, which is funny.
Yes, the mustache is usually allowed because the 70s happened.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But eventually
you have to be well groomed, and you have to show up with it. Is the only thing.
Finally, the union negotiated. Oh, you can have facial hair and visible tattoos now, or whatever. Working at a grocery store, which is bonkers, considering like if you're working minimum wage, there shouldn't be any rules. You should be able to do whatever.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like,
minimum wage, minimum effort.
Yeah, I'm making minimum wage at the library. I got my tits out. I got my tats. Like, don't talk to me.
So they changed the rules so that you could have a beard at the grocery store, but the rules were like it couldn't be transitional. You had to have a beard. And they probably thought like, oh, you're never going to be able to transition to a full beard like on a vacation or a weekend off or something like that. And no, I came back after a 3-day break with a beard.
My husband would do the same damn thing. Like it's hairy. Not his face though.
But then, you know, through my 20s, I went back and forth, like beard, clean shaven, depending on my mood, depending on the temperature. And you know, when I got married, I shaved because I thought it would look better for wedding photos. But it honestly, like, my wife prefers making out with bearded me, so I'll say that. Like, stubble.
I want to say hard same, but not with making out with you.
Right.
My husband, I prefer beard because otherwise, like, even if it's just like 5 hours of growth, it's so scratchy.
It's very scratchy. Where beard is soft and pliable and moves around.
Beard is soft. It's just like getting it in your teeth sometimes. Not great.
Well, you have to trim it. I'll say, Jay, I think your facial hair looks great.
It looks
Thank
good,
you.
yeah.
Thanks,
as
guys.
long as you like it, as long as you like the way it's going, do whatever you want to do. Have fun with it.
You look like you should be in Blur.
Here's my shot, my
Okay.
hat shot just for you being here.
Cheers. So yeah, I mean, the big concern for me was that my girlfriend wouldn't be into it, and she's been fully supportive. It's been fantastic. You know, it's always good to have a supportive partner, rocking, you know, just sticking by all those ridiculous decisions that you run with. And you know, thankfully she's been all for it, along with growing the hair as well, you know. So really, like, lockdown has been great. Like, you know, for me personally, like, ignoring all the horrible stuff that's going on in the world, like, you know, I've basically become I've basically become the person that I always thought that I would become when I was a teenager. And, you know,
Right.
I think that's the thing. Like, you just got to go for it. Like, irrespective of what else is going on in the world. Like, if you've got that job that isn't letting you grow your beard, or isn't letting you grow your hair long, or isn't letting you get that facial piercing, just do it. It's gonna be fine. Like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you do all that stuff now. Just do it. Just do it.
It's 2020. Do you know what I mean? Like, get on with it.
I was
like, this is the least of the concerns that any employer could possibly have about an employee right now.
When my brother was young, before he was employable, I was like, you know what, dude? Like, now's the time. If you want to have a mohawk, if you want to do something crazy, like, if you want to, like whatever, like, do it right now. You're freaking like
definitely.
Oh my God, Ryan!
Have a
I'm going to
mohawk.
dye my hair.
Yeah? What color are you thinking?
Swear to God, blue.
Do it.
Something
Do it.
dumb as hell.
So presumably, because your hair's quite dark, so you're gonna have to bleach it first, right?
I know, and that's the thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
so soft. Like, strangers
Yeah.
on the bus will touch it, and I think it's because they want to see if it's as soft as it looks. But
Is your hair
wow.
blue, Frothy? What are we
I
looking
didn't know
at?
you had such long hair.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
That's
I had no
cool.
idea.
It is indeed.
So one time
Do it.
I've got a friend who is a hairstylist and was my hairstylist at the time. And before a big show, we got booked to play like a big college outdoor show, and we were going to be opening for meaning we played first in like a 30 band lineup. We were going to be opening for Cypress Hill. They played last, we played first, and there was 28 bands in between.
What is this, a multi-day thing, or did you start at 10 in the morning?
Yeah.
I started at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then
Yeah,
went
they opened Friday morning, and Cypress Hill played Sunday night.
Sunday night,
it's
yes.
still open for them.
So, anyways,
Same day, same festival.
I had in my head like let's go crazy. I told her I had her bleach my hair, and I'm already super blonde, but she took it all the way to polar bear white, and I'd never done anything like that before. And it was, I've never experienced my hair being crispy like that before. Like, I couldn't run my fingers through it anymore. Like, it was.
That's been my
weird.
hang up. That's always been my hang up. Because I'm like, I just have such nice soft hair.
It was so weird. Like you couldn't pull a comb through my hair anymore because it was like abrasive. But it looked
Yeah,
kind
I
of
don't
cool.
like that. I mean, did it?
It was all right. And then I had that going on because it was right around when I met my wife. I had that going on like when I met her family. I like polar bear white hair.
Let's put that in the cons list, Lauren.
I went out for like a night.
Polar bear white hair, pink skin. Did you have the beard and mustache still at this point?
I did not have the beard at that moment.
Okay, we're gonna need a picture of that.
Yeah, I mean, did you have anything going for you at this point? I mean, what's going on? I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, because that sounds like I would not. But then
I suppose opening for Cypress Hill, you know.
I opened for Cypress Hill. That was very impressive to my wife's cousins at the time. They're like, we heard you played with Cypress Hill. I did get to hang out with them a little bit backstage, which was fun. I didn't really hang with them, but I saw them helping themselves to the catering. And man, those guys love Frosted Flakes.
Ooh, that catering. Oh, a good writer catering. My God.
Yeah. Oh, they just love Frosted Flakes so bad. It's ridiculous how much Cypress Hill loves Frosted
That's amazing.
Flakes.
Modest Yahoo loves weed, if you're wondering. That's the big one.
Munchies.
That is not a surprise.
And then he just left all the weed after the show, and we're like, I guess this is
also on that show was Sassy's gone. Bedouin Sound Clash was on that show, and My Chemical Romance was on that show.
Oh, damn!
Cypress Hill after My Chemical Romance. This must have been
Cypress
the early
Hill
2000s.
before My Chemical Romance, and the thing that gave me faith in humanity. I mean, this was like a decade or so ago. The thing that gave me faith in humanity was Cypress Hill played. The field is packed. It's an outdoor like football stadium like show. Field is packed with everyone going crazy for Cypress Hill. My Chemical Romance goes on as the headliner. Mass exodus.
Oh man, good band, good band.
I'm gonna be honest. That doesn't that's not the same audience.
It's definitely not the same crew.
It's really not.
But it was kind of
it's like my band opening for Taco Cat. Yes, literally the same audience. Cypress Hill opening for My Chemical Romance, entirely different human beings.
Well, the audience decided that Cypress Hill was not opening for My Chemical Romance. They just decided that Cypress Hill was the headliner.
Wow.
Because it was so many people leaving that they couldn't leave because the roads got backed up. People couldn't leave.
So My Chemical Romance don't care. They got paid anyway.
Oh, they got paid. But it was kind of funny because they were actually hanging out. They were hanging out most of the time in the green room area, but not talking to each other, but in costume for hours hanging out in the green room. In their weird trench coats and stuff like that. And it was very interesting. And me and my band were just such assholes that we were just hanging out and kind of making fun of everyone under our breath. And it was interesting to be hanging out with costumed people while we're all binging on free sandwiches and Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, my band always dresses up, so I'm always in the dumbest friggin' costume. Not dumb. I'm wearing fringe and rhinestones and a Stetson right now. You have a problem with it? That's fine. I do too.
I actually figured it was the other way around. I thought this was just your kind of podcasting persona, and the rest of the time you dressed like the cowboy that you really are, and this is just what you do to make yourself more accessible to everyone else. I mean,
I've done a couple of videos in the stage garbs, including my yellow I'm with her jumpsuit.
Right.
I love April O'Neil. I forgot who April O'Neil was, and then I did a video dressed like her. And
amazing.
April O'Neil. I'm like, okay, every man that age has jacked off since April O'Neil. As soon as I was like, that was a weird choice. That was a weird choice because that's why they remember her name, because I sure as shit didn't, and I played so much Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games as a child.
It's a very quick way to an audience that you might not want.
To dress like something in their spank bank. Yeah. Again, I don't care. I got paid anyway.
Exactly. I mean, not to make light of what female performers go through, But if I could build a fan base on sexiness, I would probably go
There
for
was
it.
one video I did like a while back. I'm like, wow, I really wore a low cut top. I'm editing it later. Yeah, like, ooh, yeah, you can see a lot of that. There's a lot to see.
When Dinosaur
Hard to hide.
when Dinosaur Ghost was gigging, we would wear. I don't know how we got into it. We just started wearing really short cutoff jeans.
Yes. Objectify yourselves.
Just to do it, and we realized like, oh, this is really comfortable being on stage with like these short shorts, and it's like you can move around. You're really flexible, but it's like when a guy does that, it's not sexual. It's humorous, you know. Like it's a different kind of reaction. Like no one was putting us in their spank bank, you know.
Well, if you were David Hasselhoff doing that, some ladies in the 80s might have been like, ooh, baby.
Right. Or
nice.
That guy from Lost Boys, the saxophone player, like that guy's going for a different kind of reaction. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No. I've seen Lost Boys 10 times, and I do not remember what you're talking about.
That's weird that you know how many times you watch it in such a round number.
I really, really liked the Coreys, okay? And Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh yeah, Kiefer Sutherland in that. And Alice Cooper.
Oh, and Reno 911, like somebody said. Yeah. No.
So there's this scene where there's like an outdoor concert and this dude is playing saxophone in a band and everyone is watching it like they love this band, but it's this dude who's just yoked like a bodybuilder, completely oiled up, hairless, with like giant chains around his neck.
Is it the sexy sax man from Sexy Sax Man Saxograms?
That sounds like it could be him. I don't know.
Have you not seen Sexy Sax Man Saxograms?
I don't think so. I feel like I would remember.
He just goes around going da 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 da.
I mean, of course that's what he plays. I mean, what else is he going to be playing?
That's a different thing.
A friend of mine did like some version of that, like it's like some weird cut thing. He's also
share the link.
Cover band.
Share the link.
Oh my gosh, the tequila's hitting me hard right now, guys. Am I still
6 of them?
normal? Am I fine?
I'm gonna send you the one that has my.
I mean, you sound the same, so I guess take that as you will.
Let me know when I start acting like Joe Branton.
You should share the
I mean, good luck.
I have never seen anyone as drunk as Joe was at NAMM years back.
We talk about that a lot. Like, so I missed that day that you guys hung out and Joe just like drunk himself into oblivion. Was just like, and I'm glad that I was around for that because
I've never seen someone so drunk and still on their feet. Like I've seen people passed out. He should have been passed out. Like that's how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, that guy can truly put it away. But that's fine. We all go through some stuff. He's grown up now, and that's great. I love the boy, and that's everything. That's all that matters.
Oh, I love him. I love all you boys.
So you'll be into this. We went. It was a friend of ours' birthday today, and me and Mark from Guitar Nerds and a couple of our other friends went. We went kayaking, and Mark absolutely took a complete tumble and ended up their kayak completely capsized. Him and his girlfriend completely capsized. Absolute nightmare. And everyone lived to tell the tale, so it was fine. But yeah, it was I was like, I'm not sure that anybody's going to come out of this alive. I think he might murder all of us. But like, we were fine. Everything was fine. So
So Grant is here. Welcome to the chat, Grant.
Hello, happy birthday.
I've got my Albie here, prepping to demo it soon.
I'm trying to learn a song by The Cure before I demo mine, but I might just play Drive by the Cars.
But rewinding to kayak talk, Jay has a kayak story. My brother and I went in on a kayak together. We split the cost of a kayak. We became boat owners together. And I took it out once on a lake, and I took my wife with me, and it was super tipsy, and I was surprised we didn't fall in the water. And then I tried to take it out in the ocean with my wife. And
hopefully you were is that when you were still drunk? Because that's a bad idea.
I was not drunk on the kayak. I would not take a kayak out drunk.
Water don't care. Water will kill you.
in the act of taking the kayak out into the ocean, a wave hit my hand in such a way that the water splashed up underneath my wedding ring and pulled my wedding ring off my hand in the ocean while I'm taking a kayak out into the ocean. And so my kayak
wedding ring
cost me like $300 to replace my wedding ring or something like that.
No, my husband has lost his ring so many times and the stories are not even that fun.
So kayaks, screw kayaks, I'm done with kayaks.
My husband's lost his twice. And I had so much fun calling everywhere we'd been the week he knew he lost it. We're like, yeah, hi, do you have a lost and found? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. What'd you lose? I'm like, a man's wedding band. And they'd be like, oh no. So I got him a new one that had my phone number engraved on it.
I give my wife
lost call.
I give my wife grief for losing her phone all the time, and I'm constantly having to like ping it. She's never once lost her wedding ring. And if she loses her wedding ring, I don't know how we're going to afford to replace it because I made different kinds of money when I bought that thing.
Actually, I swapped out our real band for a little rubber one.
There you go. Well, if my wife loses her wedding ring, I'll just be like, hey, maybe we should just both go like to silicone rings. What do you think?
Honestly, I love it. It's more comfortable. I can work out in it. I actually got them just so that when I would go on tour, I wouldn't bring my wedding bands, and then I wouldn't be losing my mind because there's a weird. My hands feel weird.
A friend of mine got it tattooed like that, and that I mean that is some commitment. Let me tell you. But like, he got the band tattooed, and like, I respect that. Like, I respect that incredibly because that is true commitment.
Someone who got the tattooed ring
like not
and then it didn't work out.
Well, it's like Pamela Anderson got Tommy tattooed on her ring finger and she had changed to Mommy when they divorced.
I was gonna say that really limits who you can date after that.
A little bit.
I mean, not when you're Pamela Anderson, but you know, I guess that's, you know.
I mean,
will you change your name to
She
Tommy?
seems great. Like,
no, she seems really great. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Tommy seems fun also, but that they didn't work out kind of screwed up my belief in love.
If I was Pam Anderson, I would have given Borat a consideration. I don't know.
Also, someone pointed out you're less likely to be degloved with one of these guys. I think there are smarter choices for musicians and people who work with metal.
Yeah, industrial stuff.
Yeah.
Calling it degloved is a really cute way to say having the flesh ripped off your skin.
I was going to say, what does degloved mean?
It's having your whole ass finger fall off because your ring got caught in something.
It means
there was a woman who got she was sitting on a fence and she jumped off from the fence and then the ring got caught and she lost it.
She lost the ring, and that's the end of the story. She replaced it. Everything was fine after that, you know.
Too bad she lost the ring. She definitely didn't reveal her skeleton finger underneath her skin.
Hey.
It is just bad. That happened to Jimmy Fallon.
Did that happen to Jimmy Fallon? Did he lose?
Almost. He really spread some awareness about it. I had a friend whose husband could only get silicone or titanium because the titanium would just shatter if it was applied to any pressure, and then you could just gather the pieces and they would send you a new one for free because he worked with machines.
Gotcha.
Wow. Yeah.
I think Steve has like a tungsten ring or something like that, and he's like, "Well, if my finger ever swells, I'm screwed. Like, we'll have to cut my finger off to get the ring off."
Where is Steve? I saw he was in the chat. Why isn't he here? Has he not got? Did you confiscate his webcam or something?
He's probably at work right now. Oh, he is here. Hey, Steve, how are you doing? He's probably at work right now. It is only 3 o'clock in the afternoon here, so he is.
Oh yeah, it's like 11:30 here, so 11:30 here. So
11.
I realized I had to translate that for you guys. Yeah.
So despite COVID, Steve and another buddy came over last night, and we did.
No, he's working and jerking after the things I said about April O'Neil, Steve.
He came over last night with a buddy who shares a birthday with me, and we had some hot wings that I made and some drinks and whatnot. He brought his Gibson bass with him, and that thing is a treat. He's got, I forget the model, but it's this Gibson bass that's as close as Gibson can get to like a J bass without having.
Oh, the EB3.
Yeah, I think so. One of those things. It was a bunch of fun. So Steve still exists. I've seen him in person. I'll say that.
IRL Steve, my favorite type.
Always in the Go chat.
Yeah. I feel like we interrupted Grant like 20 minutes ago.
No. It's not that. It's actually kind of stupid. But I was a jeweler before I was doing this thing.
You were?
Yeah, and so I can't tell you how many times I had to cut rings off people's fingers with like the little thing that, like, you get underneath the ring and then you have to turn it. But that doesn't always work. So one thing you can do is use like a really fine string or like dental floss and like wrap it around until you have to kind of like, and that hurts too. And there's no way to do it that doesn't hurt the person, but it hurts worse to just not get it off. So you have to go through the pain, Would
you do like ice water and soapy ice water or anything like that?
Oh, we had all kinds of stuff. And sometimes, my
husband's problem is he's got really big joints compared to like the ring. So to get like metal over his joint, it was all loosey goosey on his actual finger.
But sometimes there's nothing you can do, and you got to get under there and cut it, and that's just all there is to it. But it's fine once it's off and it's cut. You just resolder it, and it's fine.
So
I would think that soldering would be a good like connection. I feel like that would be a connection.
when my wife was last pregnant, her fingers swole up pretty bad, and she didn't get the ring off in time. And it was becoming very uncomfortable for her. And we had a night where I brought her in the garage because it was, she was so upset about it. It's like, you don't want to wait to go to a jeweler tomorrow. We're just going to cut this thing off. And she was completely freaked out because I cut it off with a Dremel. So I shoved a nail in between the ring and her finger, so the Dremel had no chance of cutting into her finger at all. I just have a little tiny Dremel blade. But because of sitting there cutting at it, it would get hot. Start to like warm up her finger. So it was like, cut it, ice cube, cut it, ice cube, cut it. And she was completely freaked out the whole time, but I was able to get it off. And then
I'm freaked out hearing about it, let alone having it done to me.
Did you try like wire cutters first?
We tried all this stuff.
Gold's real soft. I'm assuming it's gold. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was like white gold. We tried all this stuff. I didn't have wire cutters that would stick underneath it. It fit in the space, we tried all the strings, everything, all the soaps, everything. And it just wasn't happening. So I cut it off. Then we took it to a jeweler and they fixed it relatively cheap. So it worked out, but she was kind of freaked out about me dremeling near her finger.
Understandable. Yeah.
But I feel like there was no risk. I feel like I was in good control of that Dremel blade.
Someone says, can I ask you not to talk about your wife asterisk?
No, I'm gonna talk about my wife.
I'm gonna be honest, friend. I really want to like have drinks with your wife because she seems so cool. I just remember that April 1st episode she did.
Yeah.
With Steve's wife, and she was joking about Merkins, and then she told Melissa, "Ask your mother." And I was like, I like this lady.
My wife is very fun. She seems
really fun.
She's good. She's great. I honestly, I've been talking to her about it. It's like when our kids are old enough to leave with the grandparents for like a week or something like that, I want to bring her to Toman. I want to bring her to like, a guitar event, and she can go and do whatever.
Summer Nam. Oh my God, Summer Nam.
Summer Nam. I want she can go and do like whatever tour stuff she wants to do during the day. Have like a week of like having fun by herself, like in like wherever, but then like come hang out with everyone at the end of the day when we all go out and drink and eat and whatever. Yeah, because it's not because I want people to meet her. I want her to meet my people. I want her to meet Grant. I want her to meet you. I want her to meet Jay. If Sassy Cat can be there, then of course, but it's like
I always bring my husband everywhere too. I love bringing him places.
This community is such a huge part of my life, and I want my wife to see the people that I talk to, that I'm hanging out with, and enjoy that. And she's got a good personality. I think she'd have a great time. So
I mean, you're only like a couple of hours away from Anaheim, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, bring it down for an evening. Like, let's just, ignore one of the days of NAMM. Just come down for an evening and, let's just go to Disneyland. Let's get to know each other on Space Mountain. Why not?
Exactly.
Well, Space Mountain.
Oh man.
Or do they have? Is there a Tomorrowville at Disneyland? That's the ride that always gives me nightmares.
Tomorrowville?
Like Tomorrowland, like at Disney World, at the
Are you not
Yes.
Are you not familiar with the phrase about Space Mountain? About I took your old lady for a ride on Space Mountain last night.
No, I'm not. That is not my.
No. Okay. It's a phrase made famous by a professional wrestler.
Which one?
Ric Flair.
Ooh,
woo.
Yeah.
Oh wow! We got Paul in the chat. Paul helped me film piano videos years back. I was doing demo work for a piano company locally, and he was my piano player because obviously I can't do it. So that's fun that Paul's watching. Hey Paul, how you doing? I never did another video with that company after the last video I did with you, Paul. It just dried up.
I'm writing weird copy right now for all these AV companies, and I'm like, I don't know what some of this stuff is.
Yeah.
By the way, Ryan, I don't know if you saw it earlier. I commented to check your PayPal, but I don't know if you.
What did you do?
Right.
Nothing crazy. No. It's just a birthday super chat. But I wrote screw super chat.
Screw super chat.
I've only done one, but it takes a lot. YouTube takes a lot of super chats.
Super chat is fun for in the moment stuff, but for big stuff, it's like, $39. Thank you, Grant. You're amazing.
But no, you're amazing. But you, I think that means you owe me a shot or something. I don't know.
I absolutely do.
Down in one.
I've got no plans for the rest of the day. The kids are on their way home from the zoo, and
you're talking just fine.
I'm talking just fine. I'm a big boy. I'm like 215 pounds. I can handle it.
You'll be all right.
You weigh a little more, just
a little more.
Just a smidge.
And this is 2 hours in. I've been drinking over 2 hours. It's not like
that's fair.
I did
yesterday,
8
though. I was at
minutes.
I was at a park with my bandmates and my label guy, and we were just drinking in the park. And at a point, I'm like, I am very drunk. I need to leave. It's just like drinking in the sun's a bad choice.
We did the when I was over in January, we came down to, me and a couple of my mates came down to San Diego for a couple of days, and we went and did like the whale watching stuff. I don't know if you've ever done that, Ryan, but like
I have.
Oh man, it's so good. Like I tell you, the thing for me though was like, living in the UK and obviously everything being much smaller than it is in the United States, like we saw a whale from like a long way off, and that was incredible for me. But like,
do they not have whales in the UK?
There's whales in the there's whales in the UK. It's one of the countries. Don't you know anything about that? Come on, mate, keep up.
What? No. I'm sorry. Do you have freaking bald eagles too?
Well, no.
You have wild horses.
Emily, you're missing the joke. Wales is a place in the UK.
Oh shit, you're right. Very good. That was good one, Jay. I will
have a drink, Emily.
The thing that really got me was those pelicans, man. Those pelicans are so big. They look like dinosaurs. It's horrifying. I love them.
We'll steal the shit out of your ice cream too.
No, the pelican's body is like huge, and their beaks are freaking long.
Oh, it's crazy.
I go
about like 25% of them die because they never actually dive successfully for food too. I remember learning that one.
Like they just crash into the rocks, or they're just not good at catching food.
Yeah, well, they either never get the chutzpah to actually go into the water, or they break their necks upon doing so.
Oh wow!
Ooh, that sounds horrifying.
So I go out surfing, and the pelicans will dive into the water a few feet away from me, and it's startling every time because this is a big animal just
they are. Yeah.
dropping into the water from like 30 feet above you, and all of a sudden they just drop in the water and grab a bunch of fish or something.
So what are they just using the break as the like? I don't know. That I started that sentence being like, yeah, I'll be able to figure some sort of coherent sentence here, but no. What are they? Why are they going in like directly in front of you?
Oh, because they're going where the fish are, and I'm where the fish are, I guess.
Oh, okay, right, okay, yeah.
They're opportunists. I don't know.
You attract
where
fish?
the fish are.
Well, yeah. When I'm out in the water, I throw cracker crumbs out in the water, and the fish come around.
Like Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah,
I'll find my way home. It's fine.
They nibble on your toes.
Yeah. There's a duck pond in my neighborhood, and I took my niece over there to feed the ducks some bread. And there was this other lady with her kids there, and she was just like trying to feed them kale and kind of vaguely getting their attention. And my niece comes over with the bread, and I'm just showing her how to throw the bread. And of course, they're going nuts for the bread because it's a better treat. And the woman's just over there being like, "You're not supposed to give bread to ducks." I'm like, and you're supposed to give them kale?
Yeah.
Don't get mad at me for
corn.
the literal one piece of bread that I'm feeding them.
They seem to like it, you know.
I
They seem to like the bread.
I need to entertain my niece for a whole day. Please let me have this.
When I was a kid, we used to go like snorkeling, and we would take frozen corn with us, and you throw the frozen corn out into the water, and the fish would come and eat it. But apparently, that's super bad for the fish, and you're not allowed to do that anymore. But it was a lot of fun when I was a kid.
We learn things as adults. Like, not everything that's fun is good.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Most things that are fun are not good, and that's the bummer of being an adult.
At least the fun things that you did where you're from are fairly innocent. Like you were trying to do a good job. Like I'm trying to feed the corn to the thing. Like I'm from a place in the middle of Pennsylvania where we call it Pennsyltucky because like you have Pittsburgh and you have Philly.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have in between, you have Kentucky.
Appalachia.
And so where I'm from, people go possum beating. That's what people. Yeah, I've never done that. I would never do that. I would never do that. But that's an actual thing that people do for entertainment where I am
Tell
from.
them to just stop and just eat some Scrapple. And
They don't. Yeah, they don't throw corn to sweet little fishies.
They find a possum and they beat it up.
Yeah, because a possum is just not even going to try to get away.
That's terrible.
It's horrible. These people are the worst.
Also, possums are like crazy dangerous, and I wouldn't want to be.
No, possums are sweet. We actually had a possum that lived outside of our old house, and his name was Little Poss, and he was super cool. And he would come.
Every time I see a possum, I'm like, I do not want to tangle with that thing. That thing looks nasty.
They're ugly,
I had a
but they're very nice. They're kind of like me, I think.
You're not ugly. You actually look very.
You look like your cat, which I respect the hell out of.
Thank you.
You look very well trimmed right now, Grant. Did you?
Yeah.
The other day I did. Yeah, look at that.
Nice.
There's Albie.
We had those made before he passed away, and so we were like, you know what? We're still sending them out because he's very much still alive in our hearts, and we will share him with everyone. You know.
R.I.P.
I love this sticker. It's amazing. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
I love the Albie, by the way. I was just playing it.
It's a ton of fun.
My computer broke, and I was just like sitting down here watching my husband try to fix it. While I'm just like, I'm just gonna try out these guitar pedals, and I'm like, oof, man, like 4, 5, 6, 8, especially. Like I was like, I don't want to stop playing these.
Nice.
The trick with the Albie is I can't figure out if I'm gonna put it pre-drive or post-drive on my pedal board. Like that's
the quandary. Yeah.
Sounds good both places. Yeah. I was talking to Ian Pritchard about that too.
Maybe I'll have some ideas for doing the demo then.
Oh, great.
No,
now I threw away my secrets. Now you're going to steal my demo ideas.
Now you're Yes, I am. I'm not the smartest, nor am I the first, but I'm the best copycat.
It's gonna be fun. We're doing like one of those, like we've never done this before, but like the big launch, kind of like a lot of demos all at once kind of thing.
You're doing the walrus thing.
And so I'm really excited just because I love watching demos, like not even of my own pedals, but like of our pedals, but like I just like demos, like, you know, so I'm excited to see how everybody, you know, thinks to make music with this thing, you know?
That must be fun as a builder to like see when people put out demos and put out little clips and stuff like that. Oh, how are they using it? And see when like people are using it in a band that's fairly popular and whatnot. Like it must be very rewarding.
It definitely is. And it's always funny whenever you see like settings where you're like, oh, I would have never thought to set it like that. You know,
with the Albi, like people don't know everything about it yet. With the Albi, the setting is just going to be a blend setting or which selection you do. I never thought of doing 50% blend on that setting.
Yeah.
Oh man, I never thought I'd
it's kind of
pure sound.
It's kind of good for exploring because you might be like, I like it at 50% on this setting, but then here I turn it up to like 80%, and that's where my vibe is. And I also, some of the settings might be a little, nothing's really extreme, but at the 100% blend, I didn't want people to want for more, so I made them a little, maybe too much, maybe, but that's so that you're running it at like 90 or whatever percent. You always have a little more if you want it, I guess.
Oh really?
I'm looking forward to doing my
demo. It goes up to 11.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't do 100% wet because that didn't happen back then.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing that people were doing. So
I love that part about it because I remember you and I talking about that last year in Nashville.
Yeah.
The launch is like on the 17th, right?
15th.
15th. Okay.
Which is my birthday.
Wow.
Oh shoot.
Oh, that Tuesday. It's a Tuesday, right? Because I'm like,
Tuesday.
I got to release a demo on a Tuesday.
Is that a good or bad?
Oh, it's fine. It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know about days of weeks. I never know what day it is. So,
all this is embargoed until then, right? This isn't going out until the 15th, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not for sale until the 15th, but like this pedal, we've been teasing it for 2 years. It took way too long, but that's really kind of okay. I think it's okay. Yeah. It made more people excited about it. I think and they've kind of followed the process, and so there's a lot of stuff we haven't talked about, and they haven't heard it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and didn't you have like a working prototype at Summer NAMM last year?
Some people heard it at NAMM with their headphones, but it's not on the internet. Clifton filmed a demo of it without us knowing, and I had to ask him to remove it from YouTube.
I was like, you paid for a sponsorship for my first series of Roadcase, like highlighting the Albi, like, oh, check out the Albi. And it still isn't out, and I'm in my second season of Roadcase.
Yeah, well, I knew it wasn't going to be out. That was kind of
right
by design.
It's a good tease.
It's also a really attractive photo. So I didn't take it. Matt Hoops took it, but
good old Matt Hoops.
Beautiful photograph.
Yeah,
so glowing.
Someone just said this is a liberals channel. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty liberal, but
what?
I'm pretty liberal.
I'm a socialist.
I'm pretty liberal with the tequila right now.
He saw Jay's facial hair and he's like, "Is that a handlebar mustache?"
Fucking hippies.
Yeah.
I honestly, people told I was pretty conservative in my youth, and people told me, "Oh, as you get older, you're gonna get more conservative." I feel like I'm going closer and closer towards being an anarchist.
People always told me like, "Oh, you're a liberal now because you're a kid, but when you're like 30, you'll become a Republican or conservative." And here I am at 30, becoming more radicalized toward the left. Like maybe, but also radical in America is like maybe the police should stop killing people. Maybe we should. Maybe like healthcare shouldn't bankrupt people. Maybe you shouldn't work 40 hours a week and live in poverty. I don't know.
Hey, I work 100 hours a week and I live in poverty.
I just move closer and closer to just like, oh, everything's already chaos. Might as well embrace it.
Exactly. Embrace the chaos.
I'm going to start crying.
That's the chaos button. That's the drift button. Just pull out your Carolina effects and hit that. It was Havoc.
Yeah, Havoc. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Since we're such a left-leaning channel and everything, and since YouTube seems to be full of people that sit there and, because I see the comments all over the guitar channels, and it's like, oh, that's really nice. Can you let me have it? Can I have one? Will you give me one?
Right.
So,
the guitar.
Can I have an Albi? I've got 12 viewers on my channel.
You have no idea how many messages and emails we get, man.
I sent some of them.
It is crazy. No, I don't think so. I don't remember that, but
No, I actually made friends with you before I ever asked you for anything.
Cool.
I don't think I asked you for the Albie. I just said
no, I don't know. I don't even remember. Yeah, I just wanted to get you one. But I at least every day, every other day, we get at least one. Sometimes a couple in a day. Because people are relentless. It's not because we're a big company or by any means. We're a small company, very small company. But it's just because people hit everybody.
Yeah.
They go through the type
woman
of.
who's ever done internet dating knows that men like to favor the shotgun approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just message and the funny thing is, I'm in some forums with a couple other pedal builders and pedal companies, and we all get the same messages, and we all share it with each other. We're like, "Oh, did you get this?" And they're like, "Yep, I just got it. Just copy and paste." And sometimes they forget to change the name, and they never mention our product names. They're just like, "Oh, I love your pedals." Like, which pedals? You know, but they just.
So a little behind the curtain, I sent you the invoice for the road case current season. And then I copied that invoice to send it to Sean over at Gun Street Wiring because he's another sponsor. I forgot to take out the part that said, "Hey, Grant."
Ryan. Of all the people to send that to, Ryan, I think that Sean was probably.
Yeah, Sean was cool with it, but it was a funny mistake.
That guy's great.
I love Sean.
Oh, Sean's
great.
I'm jealous you got the Cyclone first because I'm getting a mod for my Cyclone.
Oh, what are you gonna mod the Cyclone with?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not gonna tell you. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna tell you because I don't know. I think they're all gonna run all the pickups in series.
So with the Supersonic, I did my own mod to the Supersonic, and then I told Sean, come up with your own mod, show off, do something crazy. And he sent it to me already. There's some sort of rotary switch in here. I have no idea what it's going to do. It's going to be bananas, I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to do everything. So I have
Does he leave you leads? Because he stopped leaving me leads because he's like, you can do it without the leads.
No, I think anyone who's seen me solder anything knows that I need as much help as it gets. And he's been on the phone with me enough times to know that I need the full diagram.
Well, one time I had him do the Starcaster, and then I went to I used that guitar to show it in Portland where he lives, and he came out and I'm like, I'm just having some issues with like one of the things. He's like, well, I'll take a look at it. So looked it over, and he's like, there wasn't anything wrong with it. He's like, it's just like the push pull on one, like, because one of my knobs was a little loose, was kind of acting up. He's like, but you did a really good job. And then now he stopped sending me leads on things. I'm like, damn it! I should have let him think I was hopeless.
No, you passed the test.
He knows that I'm hopeless, so he gives me as much help as possible. I mean, I
want people to think I'm hopeless.
I installed my own push pull in the Supersonic in the last video, and I got it. I got it right, and I was shocked. It was like one of the most simple things you could do, and I was shocked that I got it right.
But you did it on the first try, and that's really cool.
I did. I'm still
that's always
impressed.
what scares me. Like,
I was gonna say, I'm excited to see if you can actually make this pedal when you build it.
I know. Oh man.
Wait, what?
I got it for here. Oh, I should have given Steve his kit. He still doesn't have his kit. I should have given it to him last time.
But a failure video would be funny too.
Is it the $20 part things?
No, this is an actual kit.
Damn it.
Grant sent me the kit. I feel terrible every time I look at it because it's taking me so long to get around to it. He sent me this drive with the Stevest and Burkhead art on it.
Nice.
And I feel extra bad because, Grant, you've got like 10 extra cases with this art just waiting to be built for people that want to buy it. And I just need to do the video building it so I can announce, like, oh, you can go buy this thing and just put in your order with Grant.
I want to buy one. How much are they going to be?
$600.
Yeah, like $1 million.
Oh, wait, no, nothing. How about I trade you some shit?
I like trades too, so
I think you should.
Do you know who she is? Do you know how many followers she has?
You know how many
there you go.
dollars I make on my
I think you should put them all on eBay and just let people bid.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah. See how it goes. And do like some sort of charity thing with it, you know.
I don't even know how
I should trade
eBay
my
works
ayahuasca
these days.
for it.
I haven't used eBay in so long.
I sold my first thing on eBay a while back, and I was surprised at the process on eBay and how kind of like sketchy it feels.
I always thought it felt really easy. And one thing I like about eBay is like, so in college, one of the things I would do to make extra money is I would go to Third Man Records, buy the limited stuff you could only buy there, and then flip it on eBay. Sorry, I was poor.
Absolute record store day flipper. Outrageous.
Mm-hmm. No, even like because Third Man only existed in that one little spot in that weird dingy place by Mercy, and so I would like sometimes I would buy things, and like I would buy like some of his weird like all girl band that dressed like they were in Sabrina the Teenage Witch or some shit like that. And I would list one on eBay, and then the people would bid and bid and bid. And one of the things I liked about eBay was that I would get two. So instead of listing it twice, I would list it once, only pay the one list fee, and then I could just offer it to the second highest bidder to whatever that winning bid price was. Like, hey, I know you didn't win the bid because someone bid you out last second, but if you want to pay that price, I'll just send. If you were like into it, like I'll sell to you.
Wow.
So that was always a nice kind of thing to do.
So wait,
what
crack the system?
Ryan, you'd like never used eBay until recently?
Ever?
I had bought things off of eBay, but I'd never sold through eBay. I've sold through Reverb, but I'd never sold through eBay. And
until when? Like when was the first eBay sale? Like, I mean, I feel like I've been selling stuff on eBay since like 2004.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
I sold that Firefly double cut thing that I had that I put like rainbow graphics on. Beto is joining. Hey, Beto. Yeah, that was the only thing I've sold through eBay so far. I was just kind of shocked at Bud Light time. Kind of shocked at like the correspondence emails and stuff were like really impossible to read. Like it was like in raw HTML or something like that when I was opening the emails. And I just was kind of shocked at the whole process of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it felt like it was kind.
Sorry. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Beto. How you doing, man?
I'm here. I'm just having a Bud Light, you know?
I'm going to do one last shot. I just got the notification from the doorbell that my family came in. I'm going to do one last half shot here. And then I think we'll do last words, final piece, and then I'm going to call it a day. Go hang out with my kids while I'm tequila drunk. Oh, Emily disappeared.
Once you get her own now, she probably went to get some alcohol.
It was just like poof, she was gone.
Dragon Model just commented, a lot of birthdays this week. Have a good one. I think it's that winter baby making thing. Like
Thanksgiving.
No, Thanksgiving is getting cold. Everyone's getting snuggly. Around August, everyone has babies. That's just how it works out, you know? Also,
see, I told you.
I think that people plan now. I think people, when they have their first kids, they're like, I want to have a kid with a summer birthday so they can have a fun birthday. They can have a summer celebration birthday. And I think a lot of people plan.
Well, if they're on summer break and none of their mates are around.
Yeah.
Or they don't get to bring cupcakes into class and be the center of attention in class all day.
Oh, like have a pool party or a beach birthday or something like that. Speak of the devil, here comes Henry. You want to jump in on the video, Henry? Yeah, Henry just got back from the zoo and he got a.
Look at that!
Cool.
That's a wicked mask.
Yeah.
Hey, Henry.
Hey, buddy.
I know he can't hear us at all.
He can't hear anyone because I'm wearing headphones.
Tell him that we think his mask is the coolest mask I've ever seen.
You want to put it on? No. I'm hanging out talking with my guitar friend.
Oh shoot! I need to get one of those for my.
Yeah.
You gotta lift him up like it's the Lion King.
Simba.
One day, all 60,000 of these followers will be yours.
Y'all watched 10 Second Songs? He did one that was in the style of the Lion King, and he held up his cat.
Oh my god!
Oh man! Ready? I didn't think I'd be on so soon. Holy crap!
Mike is here
for you.
Oh, ridiculous!
Happy birthday, bud.
Thanks.
How's
man.
it going up there?
Cheers.
Doing good. Or the other way. How you doing, man?
Hi. Wow, man, it's been so long.
I know, right?
I missed the heck out of you. It never gets old. Never gets old.
I feel like I'm always talking to Mike because Mike and Steve and I have an open message thread just about Star Trek stuff.
That's great.
And the theme of it is just like one of us will be watching Star Trek and we just go, in this episode, blah 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 blah.
I think I watched my least favorite episode in the world the other night of TNG. It's called Hero Worship. It's where Data rescues a little boy, and that little boy spends 3/4 of the episode going, "I'm operating within normal parameters," and it's the most embarrassing thing ever. Not just because it's the kid doing Data, but because I relate to it and I see myself in it very deeply. So it's personally an affront to my fandom and to the amount of time I've spent going.
It's upsetting because you know that you would have done that if Data hadn't stopped you.
Oh man, if I could have won like a contest off of a Kellogg's box or something, like be in a Star Trek episode. Actually, I wonder if that's what that was.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all.
I've searched out and rewatched the Tanagra episode of TNG a bunch over lockdown. It's just the greatest. Like some of the great, like that is what Star Trek is for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just being in this that kind of translates to where we are at the moment. I feel just like everybody has their own weird language, and we're all kind of we're all trying to find a way to communicate with other people, but at the end of the day, the only way we're ever going to really be able to get along is to find ourselves in a place where we have to fight some sort of invisible, mythical dragon human, and one of us probably isn't going to make it out alive. Sorry for the spoilers for this episode of television that came out 30 years ago, but we are where we are.
Thing. It's Elon Musk Neuralink with a Google Translator.
A little Tesla emblem on the outside of the ship.
Let's quiz Mike, see if he knows this one. Did you know there's an episode of TNG not shown in Ireland? I'm going to guess it's the one where Beverly Crusher has sex with an Irish ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Well, is it that one, or is it the one where the Enterprise is infested with Irish people? Essentially, is the point of the episode early on, where it's like, "Oh, we're all drunk and we're ready to go to a different planet." Oh, Commander Riker, look at me daughter. Like,
oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. You know that? What's that episode called?
There's just chickens just flying around the
everywhere.
Yeah.
That feels kind of racist.
And the guy's daughter is super into Riker and where does a girl wash her feet? And he's like, well, in my quarters, actually, I've got a foot washing thing.
Which you 100% know. That means that was a Jonathan Frakes written and directed episode. Whenever it's there's all these women who are into me, it's I wonder who wrote this episode. It's of course it's Jonathan.
Written by Jonathan Frakes in blue crayon at the bottom of the story.
Oh my god! Amazing.
Anytime I see anything, okay, bud. Anytime.
Wait, so Beverly Crusher is a Star Trek person because that's one of the best bands in Seattle. Is one called Beverly Crusher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beverly Crusher.
Yeah, she's
that's a great name for a band.
She's the best.
It's a great band. Y'all should check out Beverly.
Yeah, they're really
good. Check it out, definitely.
Anytime I see anything remotely sexist happen or sketchy happen in real life, I quietly hum to myself, executive producer Rick Berman.
I love that tune that you've come up with.
That's amazing. You should write a song about it. Maybe you are a lyricist, Ryan.
Oh my god.
Why are you not?
It doesn't have the same ring as Dick Wolf.
I want to start a band called Wholesome Masculinity.
Wholesome Masculinity?
Wholesome Masculinity.
A band called Wholesome Masculinity? Wow.
It would be like kind of neat. It would be like the opposite of the Runaways, where I get a bunch of dudes together and I like write songs to them. They're like, "You're my best friend, you're a guy, and I love you, and I'm not afraid to say that I love my dude friends."
That sounds pretty cool.
Question: how are you going to dress that band?
They're gonna wear whatever the hell they want to wear.
My son is trying to make as much noise as possible, clanking stuff together. He's finding new things.
Are your headphones still plugged in?
He's rattling a trim bar around in the slide.
Auxiliary percussion, that's what that is.
I think I need to call it a day. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours.
Happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday.
Very fun for dinner that you
Probably like 10 shots.
Bye, guys.
Which is stupid. Huge thanks to everyone that super chatted. Huge thanks to
No. Don't touch that. Don't touch
Wait,
that.
which way are you at? Where are you?
Hey, bud, how you
Hey,
doing?
Mike, how are you?
Great. Thanks for the pink pedal, by the way. Love it so
Hey,
much.
You're welcome.
You're the best.
What did he get?
Hot sauce is great.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh, it's so good.
Mike, what do you get in pink?
Oh, I've had a woodcutter for a while.
Oh, you finally got a pink one?
Yeah. I've sent it over to Grant, who made me a bright pink, beautiful enclosure.
I think it took four rounds to get you a good pink enclosure.
Oh my god!
And the reason was I had a bigger NYC one that was pink, and it was fine. But then I decided when we switched our name, I was like, I don't want him to have the NYC. I want him to have pedals. So I ordered an enclosure, came bad. Ordered another enclosure, and that's when we were working with Mammoth, and they just were horrific and took forever. And then finally we switched to Jacob, and then the first one I got for him was bad. Actually, I think the fifth one, because the second one I got for him was bad, and then and then I got the last one and it was good.
I didn't realize how arduous a process this was. Thank you for going to the wall for me, bud.
No problem.
All right, so I'm gonna tap out here.
See you guys. I'm sorry. I went rambling.
I want to, Mike. I'm sad that you jumped in so late, but Mike,
I'm sorry.
When at some point I want to do a Lower Decks episode with you and Steve, where we talk about.
I would love that. I actually really enjoyed it. I watched some. And it's so fun.
There's an animated series out now on CBS of a comedy Star Trek in the Star Trek universe in Next Generation timeline.
Nice.
And it's great. And it's got another podcaster in it. Tawny Newsom is one of the vocal talents.
Who's that?
She's from the podcast Yo, Is This Racist?
I've never heard of it, but that sounds up my alley.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. So and she's a fellow musician. She's been in bands and stuff like that. So I want to try to get her.
Yeah.
I bet you could. You got 60K subscribers. You get that clout, buddy.
Now you don't have to just wait for people to be like in your studio to do those things. That's really a good idea.
I want to do a Trek episode with the four of us. Maybe
that'd be great.
The three of us. We'll see. Even if it's just you, me, and Steve, it'll be a great time.
Oh, I'd be so honored. Thank you.
All right. And with that, I'm going to sign out. Bye, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Bye. Happy birthday.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Happy birthday,
Ryan.
On my birthday during COVID times, and stay grounded, everyone. And